Like the countdown and everything.
Oh yeah. Gotta do a little 10 seconds. What is going on, everybody? Welcome into a very special night here on the Cove. I am joined by a very special guest, ANON TCG. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad we can finally do this. It's been crazy times. We just got off our anniversary live stream, which was a fun little game, and yeah, didn't know how long it was going to take, but we managed to fit it in. So happy to chat, talk to a local here. So it's gonna be some fun.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Yeah, it was happy. I can't believe I've been in your program for over in your Discord and part of your your whatever you call it subscription program for over a year now. Very happy customer. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Good times always, and we always have a lot of fun in Discord. That's for sure. So yeah, I appreciate you jumping on. What I wanted to talk about first is how do you think that the no booster box thing got out of hand so quick, and why would people assume that what Pokemon had been doing for 28 years as their premier product, the main way to get packs to everybody, like how so quickly did people think that they were just going to stop doing booster boxes forever?
Look, it's an echo chamber, right? Those of us who spend a lot of time on YouTube and in Discords and in the same groups, you see days pass and weeks pass and months pass, and something that you expect to happen doesn't happen. Then all of a sudden you start to believe that it doesn't happen or that it's not going to happen. Then you start to believe your own bullshit. And then all the people around you are just emphasizing your thought. And then you have somebody like Rudy who's like, "Where are the booster boxes?" In that video. So then everybody's like, well, if Rudy doesn't know and he doesn't think they're coming, then they're definitely not coming. And the challenge with folks in this space is once they get the answer they want to hear, they stop. There's
Yep.
no critical eye, there's no critical thinking. Rudy doesn't have a whole lot of access to this stuff, quite honestly. Um, so just because he's the biggest, everybody assumes that he knows all this stuff. And quite honestly, he doesn't have to know this stuff because, yeah, brother man's made it. He's sitting on tens of millions of dollars, and he doesn't need to get an edge at this point. He's already past that point. So I think it's just everybody got fat, dumb, and happy, and was making a lot of money. And when you're holding inventory Pokemon, you want to believe that there's not more inventory coming, so the value of your product goes up, and this is what happens. And everybody knows that the Pokemon company cares about one thing. They care about the health of the IP. And if you think about it logically, the health of the IP is 100% reliant on getting the next generation of folks hooked on the IP. Now, there's many different ways to do it: books, movies, video games, trading cards, etc. But if the Pokemon company, and again, it is run by a Japanese management team, which is a very different mindset than in the West here, if they think that the price needs to be MSRP, they're going to do everything they can to make sure it gets to MSRP. It's just going to take them a while. They're not like an American company that would cut off, their left foot to hit a quarter, and that's what we're seeing here. And I think they plan things out very strategically, and they're dumping everything on the market at the absolute worst time for folks that are holding inventory, and the best time to be effective in what they're trying to do. And that's really tamped down the mania in the market going into 30th anniversary.
Yeah, it was so shocking to me like 6 months ago, and I was screaming from the rooftops. Like the people that thought Pokemon did not care about their collectors and I mean, the players are fine. They you can build a deck for $50.
Yeah.
About their collectors, and that thought that just they were gonna let like that they don't pay attention to the secondary market. Like, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, I think they pay attention to what they see a Destin Rivals booster box at $600 a box, and they're going to do something about it. And it's just we had so many examples in history of Roaring Skies and Ultra Prism and Lost Origins. Like there was just so many times that we got reprints, even way later than we got this Destin reprint, and it was like I was so confident that it was going to happen, even without somebody that actually has distribution access and that has that knows a lot more than the average collector. and it was so crazy of how that light switch changed, right? A couple people make a YouTube video that don't even have Play stores, that don't even really care about Pokemon, and then it was really funny to see that switch happen. And it's like, yep, they don't print ETBs until they do. They don't reprint booster boxes until they do. It's just, yeah, it's really funny. So that brings us to, now, how dark or how light in my eyes do you think this is going to get with how bad is this market going to get crushed for, journey together forward with what we're going to see the next 6 to 12 months? What do you think that looks like?
Look, I don't think crushed is the right term, because at the end of the day, the goal of the Pokemon company is to straddle MSRP and make it affordable in the minds of the management team, right? The challenge that they have is you have this massive amount of artificial demand, which are all the botters, all the scalpers, etc.
Yep.
So kind of never seen Krabby this nervous. That's funny. So the problem is you're going to get to MSRP, and then the bottom's going to drop out to some extent. And it may not be with the booster boxes. It may be with some of the ancillary products.
Yeah.
Your ETBs, your booster bundles, your EX boxes, your things like that. But this almost feels like the soft landing that they always talk about with the Fed, with inflation and things like that. Only I think these guys can actually do it, because unlike what we saw in Sword and Shield, that bear market was completely artificial from the standpoint of they were printing to artificial demand, and then the bottom dropped out of it. The doors open, everybody went outside. So they dumped an inflated amount of product due to a heightened demand level into a market with an artificially low demand level, and they just wiped themselves out. I don't think it's going to happen here nearly to that extent. You wipe out the ability to buy your standard sets. I don't think they're going to get there on the specialty sets. They're just going to be too good. These guys have proven they make banger set after banger set. But on the standard sets, you wipe out the botters, the ability to scalp. There's obviously a ton of additional product coming into the market. For Mega 6, Mega 7. We can talk about that later if we want.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of folks that with a lot more money than there were back in Sword and Shield, and quite honestly, a lot more awareness of what the opportunity here is. I don't see a world where we're ever sub $100 with booster boxes. And even, there's a lot of folks that talk about, macroeconomic downturns and depressions and shit like that. I'll tell you, living through the financial crisis and working in the professional world, there were people that were defaulting on the mortgages before they turned off their cable and their cell phones. The reality of the situation is Pokemon cards, TCGs are like cigarettes and alcohol. People are always going to buy them. They're not going to give them up. It's going to be one of the last things they part with. And, you have a lot of folks that, you now have 30 years of products going up. The cheaper products get, the more they're going to get gobbled up. I think the challenge that you have, and this is where you're going to see some of the overshooting to the downside to some extent, is it's an extremely inefficient market, and everybody overshoots. You're going to have all these botters panicking with Destiny TBs where their credit cards are loaded and they're desperately trying to free up space to buy 30th anniversary because they see free tendies there. And it's going to get ugly a little bit, which is it's going to be a lot of fun. So as I said in my troll video earlier today with the red Mew, you have to stay liquid, and you have plenty of time. You don't have to get into the market early now, because first to market it's a risky position.
Yeah, for sure. It's so funny. And I think you've said this in the past, and I know a few others have kind of talked about it too. We're never going to have products sitting at a perfect equilibrium MSRP, right? Because either it's going to be botted and scalped and it's going to be sitting 20 to 30 bucks above, or it's going to be sitting at, and it can't be botted or scalped, which will naturally have it fall like under MSRP by a certain percentage. So, obviously all Pokemon is trying to do is to try to get as close as possible, plus or minus like 15-20%. Right? That's what it feels like, I think.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And again, this is, you can do the math behind it. You can look at the supply demand curve, but at the end of the day, they are fighting a perception problem. And the perception is that the product is underprinted, which it's not. So
right.
Until you kind of break that perception, it doesn't matter how much supply you push into the market. And this is really the only way to do it. It's kind of like death by 1,000 cuts, or 1,000 Walmart drops.
Right. Yep. Yeah, makes sense. Yes, Dio, 100%, absolutely the Cabal King. And then I can answer this question as well, actually. I don't even need a non. Yes, the Diamond and Pearl set is real. I have personally seen the leaks myself, and 100% next summer, Diamond and Pearl for sure. Um, we're obviously the trolling's been fun, right? The last few days, it's got to be fun for you, right? Going back and forth. I would imagine, I've luckily so far, at least, I've been able to stay out of any back and forth with any YouTubers, but maybe that'll change after tonight, which would be fine. But it's all fun, right? Going back and forth with everybody.
Yeah, no, it's fun, and some of these guys are really really insecure and they take things too seriously. Like
Yep.
I literally don't give a shit what people say. If people trash talk, trash talk. I literally don't care. I'm here to have fun, run a business, and hang out with you guys. Like it
Yep.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk a little more about the 30th. Let's start off, since you brought up the Red Mew. First off, how does it feel when you're 100% certain, like for a fact that something is real, but when that first blue green one was revealed, like 80% of people thought it was fake. Every YouTuber, everybody on Discord, everybody was like, no, there's no way this is real. It doesn't have the stamp, blah, blah, blah. Like with 100% fact it's real, but everybody's saying it's fake. Like, what's that like?
Uh, so you learn early on, like the loud Pokemon folks online, like they just think everything's fake or everything's mid or everything sucks. It's the same
Yep.
bullshit, right? I hadn't seen the card. I've just heard descriptions of it. So when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, this is it, right? Like, yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. Now there's a red and a green one. And the one thing I do want to mention here, because I've had this conversation multiple times today, because even the red one, they're like, oh, that's fake. Or somebody's like, well, no, nobody thought they were fake. Everybody said they were real the whole time. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot, right? There have been at least 10 streams running 30th anniversary 24/7 for weeks now.
At least.
We got one blue and we just got a red.
Yep.
So that 1 in 10,000 packs, I mean, I don't know how many packs are being ripped, but I guarantee it was probably more than 20,000 packs.
I was watching the Australian guy every morning. Like, he would start at like 2 a.m. our time, and I wouldn't get up that early, but he was going through them. I mean, he went through cases and cases and cases. Like, it was definitely thousands of packs for sure. And then you add in the other 10 streamers overseas that were doing it. I didn't see anybody in the States doing it. They probably are too scared.
No, so the states are actually cracking down on it. So normally for specialty set, I can get the stuff about a week ahead of time, but they are shipping the day of release to kind of try to avoid the leaks. So my understanding is the product that hit Australia actually was printed in the Netherlands and went through Malaysia and Singapore. And I mean, look, you get out of the US, it's all third world countries. All the early stuff that we see in the States, it's all through Mexico. It's all through Koki and the other distributors, because they can't control those markets. And there's just so much fucking money to go around. It is what it is. And it's impossible for them to control. Now, in 2027, they're no longer sending English printing cards to Latin America, which is great, because you're probably not going to see the early leaks, and some of the scummier stores that shall not be named aren't going to be able to get as much product. But it also means that there's probably 10% more product that is going to stay in the US, which is going to continue to help to tamp down the market.
I was going to ask you the percentage. That's 10% of, you're talking about millions of packs, hundreds of millions of packs. That's a lot of supply. You think that will 100% go to the States?
Oh yeah,
everything from
it's all printed in North Carolina,
right?
So
is Canada? Do they get that same from North Carolina as well?
Yeah. So Canada, U.S., Mexico, and Latin America all come from the U.S. Okay. Up until June of last year, North Carolina was supplying UK, and before then they were supplying all the EU, Australia, New Zealand. So yeah. And the other thing that's interesting, so just to sort of change topic a little bit. So we talked about the total number of packs, just the estimate for 30th anniversary. So it's somewhere around 180 million packs. If you do the math, I think it's like 1.8 billion cards just from that. But one thing I didn't quite realize, because I think it's what, 6 cards, so 5 regular cards plus the energy. I think.
Yes, that's so 6 cards total. Yeah, 5 plus the energy. Yep. No code card, I don't think. Is there a code card? Doesn't matter. They don't count the code card.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But what I've kind of triangulated is that the English print run in the US versus worldwide, meaning what they print in Netherlands, US is like 60%, Netherlands is like 40%. So if you do the math, you're sitting right around, 300 million packs, or 300 million packs times 6 cards. There's your 1.8 billion.
Yeah.
Or one set in one language.
That's how. Where do you think this rank? I mean, I know it's impossible to know, but for your bet for modern, let's talk about modern. Do you think it's going to be the most printed modern set ever?
Yeah, it's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. I mean, even so, if you look at the standard sets, and by my best guess, Pitch Black and Chaos Rising got like 825,000 booster boxes printed in English. Yeah, you do the math on that. I mean, it's like pissing in the wind compared to what we're seeing for the specialty set here. And this is probably 30%, maybe a little bit more above what Ascended was. I know Danny Phantom came out and said his allocations were 200 and some percent more. That good for him, I guess. But no, it's like 30%.
But it was all in it wasn't ETBs or it was a lot of blister packs and different things that I think he did his percentages by skew, maybe not by his math seemed weird. His math didn't add up to me when I went through it all.
He also may have done it based on release, because if you recall, we only got 3-pack blisters for the first wave for Ascended, because the 2-packs pushed.
That's true.
February 20th. Then we got the ETBs and a couple other items. So.
Yep. And he was only comparing it to Ascended, nothing else. So it was kind of only 1 point. That's not really,
And it's not really, it's not comparable. So whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's definitely not. And it's going to be so interesting with this Mew chase to see. So I'm with you. I personally like the artwork. I think it's cool. I think it's different. I think it's going to look way better in person anyway.
Dude, I hate the monochrome cards. I hate the monochrome cards. I hate the gold cards. Like the black and white, the Zekrom, the Reshiram. I didn't hate them, but I didn't like them. At least you have some texture to the cards. You have some offset color, and it's something different. And the fact that they've actually taken the initiative, because you go back to celebrations for 25th anniversary, those cards weren't, but they were all dog shit, right? Because there's so much open,
so bad.
What was it? The first edition Charizard was like $20 for the longest time, and that was like the most expensive card. So they took that potential outcome in mass ripping, and they said, you know what, we're going to insert these 3 cards at 1 in 10,000, and they'll be a chase.
And look, everybody who's dogging on it, here, look at me. It doesn't matter. It's a Mew. It's a 1 in 10,000 chase for a Pokemon set, something that Pokemon has never done before. It's going to be the rarest and hardest chase in a set. We're talking about like on the level of something like almost like a trophy card or something that is only have whatever 100 made or something. Like, it's going to be absolutely nuts when these start getting pulled, and there's 2 listed on TCG Player and 3 listed on eBay, and everybody's like, oh crap, this has been out for 3 or 4 days already, and that's how few of these there are. Man, people are going to be doing the first to market grading plays. They're going to be sending to PSA for $500 or $1,000 a card. I'm with you. I think the first sales we see of these cards are in the 5 figures. I think 5 figures is what we see.
Yeah. So it was interesting. A buddy of mine sent me. It was a screenshot from Facebook, and it basically was like the top 10 or 12 cards in total market value, just based on PSA 10 count, and then I guess whatever the most recent price was. And obviously Greyfelt had Pikachu was like, there's 75,000 of them at $2,000 or whatever. So I figured each one of these, let's just assume it's right in the middle list, and somewhere around 50 million bucks across the 18,000 of each copy. And again, the 180 million packs is just, it's a ballpark based on what they're supposed to print per day, and just an estimated amount of time. I mean, between the 3 of those, I think it comes out to just under $3,000 per card is kind of your steady state, but that's for a PSA 10. And there's no fucking way PSA 10 of these at this rarity is going to be $3,000. I mean,
No way.
you're probably looking between 8 to 15, maybe a little bit higher. Once people
Yep.
realize what the real rarity is. And you still have all the SIRs and all the futuristic rares and all
Yep.
the chase fodder that, I mean, there's going to be a bunch of cards that are, $500, $1,000 in the set. And now you have the lottery ticket here. I've kind of said from the start, I have a hard time believing we're going to see sub $15 a pack. Cause even with Ascended, like the bottom of the search Wade bullshit packs that are completely dead, it was like 11.25.
I was going to say 10. I don't think it got below 10 ever.
Yeah, I mean, I think 11.25 was TCG player, and I'm sure you could buy loose packs from shady folks wherever you wanted to if you're doing rip and ships or whatever. Look at you, Trev. I'm just kidding. But
Tough Trev.
Yeah, I can see broke stores early on just dumping like poster collections and shit like that, and maybe you get 12, $13 a pack, but the value is going to be absolutely through the roof, and the fact that everybody's waiting for a hot set because the last three have been kind of it's gonna zoom. It's gonna zoom.
It's crazy, and like there's a lot of people that think that we peaked and that it's all like, shout out to Steve, Steel City Sacks. I love Steve. I know that you're a fan as well. And but he's like, he thinks that we've peaked and it's all downhill from here a little bit and it's going to be kind of normal. I think the 30th will be the apex for the hype and the chase and the botters and the scalper. Like, look, there's going to be 300 people in line at every Target across the country on release day, and they're going to limit one per person, whatever. It's not going to matter. It's all good. It doesn't matter how many ETBs and poster collections and knockout collections and all that stuff. It's going to be gone. I don't think this fall, I don't know how much we'll get next year. I do not think this fall that a single 30th product will be sitting on the shelf for MSRP after it drops, like for a day. Like, would you agree with that, or do you think that product could sit?
There's no fucking way.
There's absolutely right? There's no way.
No,
way. And as long as that's happening, we're not like, we're still going. We're up. Like, it's not, we're not coming off the hill anytime soon. It doesn't matter if we have sets at $140 a booster box. If you still have the good sets that are getting botted to hell and scalped to hell, it's all going to be, it's going to be madness.
Yeah, nah, for sure. And there's a couple of people here that saying, where's the 1 in 10K number come from? That was the internal insertion rate of the company, like at the factory. Yeah, if you live on the East Coast, you start to get to know folks that are further up the food chain than calling your junior rep at fucking Southern Hobby, like half the guys are on YouTube. So you don't have to believe me. Quite honestly, I don't give a shit. Like, I have nothing to prove to you guys, but you'll see with the rarity exactly what it is.
Yeah, and look, stuff happens in North Carolina. What happens in North Carolina stays in North Carolina, except for when it doesn't. And then we have Chaos Rising Greninja SIR showing up at a North Carolina card show 3 months before the set releases. I wonder, what are the odds that it shows up in a North Carolina card show? Right?
You want to hear a funny story? I will tell you a funny story. So up
Absolutely.
until that point, the employees were allowed to take company cell phones inside. Now there's no cameras, there's nothing like that. But this employee supposedly smuggled the cards out in the cell phone case, put it in his pocket, walked out, and after that point, they could no longer take cell phones into the facility.
Wow, that was that Chaos Rising Greninja. Wow. Yes. See, and people think that Pokemon doesn't pay attention to what's going on out there. Like
they have the same economists and statisticians that Wizards of the Coast has. I mean, these guys know what's going on.
Yeah.
The problem is they want to control the hype cycle. They don't want it to get out of control. And WotC's the same, but they just do stupid shit like put turtles cards and Lurin pre-release and fuck all that shit up.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure. Good luck getting those sharp corners up your ass, Noble Dragon. You're gonna have to mule them now. Love it.
Do you think that, so we live in a world now where there's so much information out there, but it just feels like the average, and look, my channel draws more, I would say, heavy collector, deep collector, little bit of business, definitely investor. The analytics show that it's mostly investor bros, which is funny because I don't talk about investing all that much, but I do a little bit. But that's what people want, right? Do you think that we'll ever get to a point where like the average collector investor is actually well informed for once and isn't just because I mean I've been in for like 12 years straight now, so it's a little like I know when the ebbs are flow, I know when to buy, I know when to sell. Um, like at what point do we get to where there's enough people like us that the ebbs and flows will be a little more steady, or do you think it's just impossible? It can never happen.
Um, it's absolutely impossible just because people are feeling too lazy, right? They
Yeah.
see shiny Pokemon, they want to buy it. They see hype, they want to participate in it. I think the level of education and sophistication for folks with deeper pockets is obviously growing substantially, and that's also why I think as we get a massive amount of destined rivals pumped on the market, specifically ETBs, and we get a
Yeah.
massive amount of Delta Rain, and then whatever the Mega Lucario set is in February, March. You're going to have folks with deep pockets that know what's up. They're not going to panic, and they're going to be buying, when everybody else is shitting their pants.
Yep.
That's something that didn't happen nearly to the extent that I think it's going to happen this time back with, with Lost Origins and Chilling and Fusion and all the shit that nobody could give away out of the back of their car.
Yeah. Yeah. It was such like back in 22, 23, when the bottom fell out, like it fell out of everything modern, fell out hard, right? Like then specialty scents weren't as good back then. Obviously, you had Champion's Path and Shining Fates and just dog water sets, and then even 151, when it came out, was just available forever. I do think that now more, especially investors, are becoming set pickers. So I think we will live in this world for a while where we have Perfect Order Pitch Black sitting at $4 a pack, and then we have the good specialty sets at $15 to $20 a pack. I think we can live in that world for a long time. I mean,
yeah, no, I agree, and that's kind of what I was going to say. I think we're going to see a pretty nasty divergence here between the standard sets and the specialty sets, because standard sets, none of the scalpers are going to touch. There's going to be a ton of product, but the specialty sets, those sneaker bro motherfuckers, their heads are going to be popping out like Punxsutawney Phil in February. Yeah, a little bit up past your way, saying, where are my fucking tendies?
Yeah, that's a local legend. Shout out Groundhog Day. Shout out Bill Murray. No, my favorite movie. If you've never seen Groundhog Day, I don't care how old you are, go watch it. Fantastic movie.
Don't get angry.
But yeah, man. So let's talk about. So we don't know. I mean, unless you want to like reveal anything about the next specialty set, but yeah, let's just assume that the next specialty set is just as good as we've had with Ascended and 30th, and then we roll into the more smaller sets. But the megas they're good Pokemon, right? They don't have many bad ones left, honestly. So we're probably gonna get Mega Gyarados and Mega Blastoids and Mega Mewtwo and all those throughout next year. This block has kind of been decided how it's gonna work, right? So looking way ahead, there's this, when a new era truly starts, a new generation starts, there's this like new eras suck. It all goes down. Nobody likes new Pokemon. So when 2020, late 27, early 28 comes around, do you think we could have like beginning of Scarlet and Violet times again? Could sentiment really turn that much after all that we've been through here now the last few years?
I don't think so. I think there are enough adults in the room now. And when I say adults in the room, people that understand the whiplash, they understand the opportunity that is coming our way. And they're not looking at the next shiny thing saying, hey, I didn't go up 3x in 5 seconds. Fuck this sucks, right? I mean, I have people, even people in Discord, that are like, hey, do you think stores are going to stop taking all their allocations because booster boxes are 180? And I'm like, what the fuck? You're paying $100. Like, you're not getting 80% anywhere else outside of where you're limited. Like, what world am I living in? So
yeah,
I don't think so. And even with a massive increase in print runs, say there's 950,000 boxes of Delta Rain, and even if they just go back to one wave, which would be a lot of product early on, we'd probably see some product on the shelves Because everybody like even Rudy's video the other night where he's like, well, if Destiny ETBs go under $100, I'm going to buy them all. Well, you can't. Like the total addressable market of this shit is so astronomically large, you can't do it. So everybody's going to eat until they're full, and there's probably going to be some left over, and it's just going to take time. So we're going back to the point where you buy the stuff when it's cheap, and you sit and you wait, and you forget about it, and you move on.
Yeah, it's wild. I just had this thought. If you took every, and I know they have market cap for, like you were talking about, individual characters and stuff, but if you took every graded PSA card, market value, every sealed product that everybody has, distributors have, collectors have, investors have, if you took every Pokemon item in existence and you took the market cap of it, where do you think Pokemon would fall on the S&P 500? Would it be in the top 50?
Oh, dude, I couldn't even make an educated guess anywhere close to that. Holy shit.
Dude, it might be in the top 20. Like I mean, just the amount of PSA 10s and the vintage, like, I mean, you have Charizards worth millions each. That's one card. Like,
yeah. I mean, let's look at it this way. So if we have 300 million packs coming in English, and that's between Netherlands and the US, and the packs are $15. It's $4.5 billion just for the newest set.
Just the new set.
It's the newest set.
Holy crap.
Now it's the biggest set. And as we all know, the expected value of the cards in $4.5 billion of packs is not going to be $4.5 billion.
Yeah, right. Of course.
But you take that, you got what? Assume 6 sets a year for the last however many years. I don't even know what the maybe the average is 4 sets.
It's been 6 for the last 5 years. Before that, it was 5. We only had one specialty set in the Sun and Moon era.
Yeah.
And then they went Sword and Shield. Every year in Sword and Shield was 2. So call it 5 or 6 for the last decade plus.
Yeah. So,
yep.
Obviously the print runs were significantly smaller than where we're at now, but you got 60 sets at $1 billion each, and obviously the old stuff has gone through the roof. I mean, you got to be pushing half a trill.
Yeah, for sure.
At least.
Yeah, that's wild.
I mean, it's no SpaceX, but it's always going to be infinitely more profitable than that bag of shit. But that's a different conversation.
Yeah, it's that's a conversation for another day. So yeah, interesting. All right, can we get into something that and maybe you didn't elaborate on it much, but what you did say, I disagreed with you, because I have to disagree with you with something. Or I know tomorrow morning I'm gonna get called just whatever, that I just praised you, whatever, all this crap. I can already see the comments. So you said in your video like 2 or 3 days ago that you think rip and shippers could get destroyed with what's coming with these reprints and stuff. I know that when packs were like $4 or $5 a pack, rip and shippers were still, now it was a lot smaller of a community. This is like 5-6 years ago. So some streamers were selling packs for like $2.50 a pack back in the day. Mm-hmm. But so I think that rip and shippers will adjust, and as the market goes down, they'll buy for less. They'll keep getting their back door from distribution and stuff, and they'll just sell packs for of booster box sets for $4 or $5 a pack and be fine. Where do you think that rip and shippers will get wrecked at?
So it's the fact that there's just too many of them. So the overall demand for rip and ships is going to contract significantly, and you're going to have the same number of people competing for far fewer buyers. So, look, the folks that are professional, that are running legitimate businesses, are going to do it. Now, the other thing that's kind of shitty is, if you're buying packs for $8 and selling them for 10, you're making $2 a pack. If you're buying them for $3 and selling them for, you're making $1 a pack. And the thing I dislike about the rip and ship business from a business perspective is you can't scale how fast your hands move. Yep. You just can't. That's why people are going to digital rips, because it's easier to click a button. But I mean, again, same issue there. That is not scalable, because once you have to deliver the assets, it becomes a problem. So you almost have to force people to take the buyback, which is what some of these ship platforms are doing, or you just run out of inventory.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. I think the good ones will survive. And, me personally, it's something that I enjoy consuming. Shout out, and I don't want to, what is it? 112. Holy, okay. First off, thank you guys. 112 people here. Hit that like button.
Are there really?
I've never had 100 and now 113 people. Appreciate you guys being here. Um, Darium's Pokemon was who I started with. The first ever experience I had with ribbon chips, and he was selling like 250 a pack, $3 a pack, and it was a blast. And you know, but he obviously has distribution access and all this stuff, and people like him and that have been here a long time and do it the right way, like you said, they'll survive just fine. But like Noble Dragon here talking about the ones that are crashing out, we keep going swipe, 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 dude. I can't take those guys, man. I hope that they all crash and burn. So let's talk about the grading world and digital rips and all this stuff. That is one part of the hobby that I am so confident is going to come crashing and burning down. It's just going to collect a con, seeing, interacting with CGC fanatics on a small scale, but knowing people that do it on a big scale and send thousands of cards a month. It's like we are going to enter, in my opinion, the junk slab era, like like yesterday. What do you think about just the sheer amount of, there's like 4 million cards being graded every month right now between PSA, CGC, everybody. Where do you think the graded market goes and the digital rips specifically, how that affects everything?
So the graded card market itself is going to normalize at some point, and your higher quality assets are going to continue to outperform, and your shit slabs are going to be shit, right? I mean, we've seen this movie before, and the second people don't want them, they kind of go to zero. There's no bid on them, and the issue we have right now is there's so much demand for slabs because of mystery packs and the legitimate digital rip companies that actually want to make an effort to deliver the product. There's just not enough supply out there for the billions of dollars of corporate assets and investment that's behind these companies. Like you're attacking a market that isn't big enough to support one player, much less 10 of them, knife fighting for the same shit. So that's the challenge with grading. And then look, I mean, PSA is a private equity backed business. They're going to scumbag as much as anybody. And I respect that. That's why they bought Beckett. That's why they bought what is it, SGC, who they
SGC. It's why they'll buy Tag.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
you keep taking competitors off the table, and Congress doesn't give a fuck. There aren't enough lobby dollars for any of those guys to give a shit.
Right.
So that business probably falls apart. The one that I hate, and I actually did a video on this, is the whole digital rips thing. And the reason I say this is I have a good buddy of mine, and he was internal audit VP at Caesars like 10 years ago. So he was the guy that went to the casinos and they were testing all of not just like the slot machines and stuff, but this was like the early days of online gambling. And
Yeah.
the only time they tested the random number generator on all the stuff was when they knew the auditors were coming. It's like drug testing in baseball. They tell you to set fucking test, right?
Right.
So I made the comment because 10 years ago I was still a kid. I don't fucking know any better. It's maybe 15 years ago. I'm like, oh, so this means everything's legit. He's like, do not ever gamble online because the house will always win. Yeah, the second we walk out of here, we have no control over what the odds go to. Nobody ever sees it, and those logs are all burned. I mean, they're deleted, wiped, but they're effectively burned. So you're talking about one of the most highly regulated industries in the country, meaning online gaming, and then you go to this industry, which is completely unregulated, with the scummiest of the scummy fucking people, like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, whichever fucking scumbag Paul there is there. And you got Ken Golden and fucking Steve Aoki grifting the shit out of it. And you expect that the odds for these places to actually be like what they say they are? There's no fucking way. And that there is the ultimate incentive to buy your card back for pennies on the dollar because they need that inventory. It's just a matter of time before they just stop buying physical inventory and they're just trading in bullshit. And the second they blow up, it's like, you're all screwed. Who cares?
I don't see how they don't have all the inventory they need already of the slabs that are under $100 because nobody gets those shipped to them. They're not going to pay $7.99 to get a $20 slab shipped to them of whatever freaking some crappy Pokemon EX whatever. Uh, like I understand the grails and the the $500 cards and that stuff will always be necessary because people actually get those shipped. But I don't see how they're even still buying up inventory of the junk slabs. They have to be basically full really soon, if not already, for most of them. There's probably just so many new ones popping up all the time. Yeah, like Rip It. Was that Logan Paul's, right? Like what? Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, and that's just the thing. I mean, I think they all are trying to be like real companies, and then the finance brains behind them are going to realize that hey, it's easier just to sell everything digitally. We don't have to spend the time and effort and money and capital to procure the actual cards.
Yep.
Fuck, who's going to arrest us? It's not a crime because it's unregulated.
Yeah, but it says right on their website that they're third party tested, and what are you talking about?
Yeah. You know who's testing them? The suckers paying $25 to rip a bag of shit that they get 3 cents back on.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Do buy from the site.
Here's another bunch of scumbags. The graded companies offering buybacks, and all they're doing is they're feeding them right through the digital rip companies.
Yep.
So everybody's shaving 35 cents on the dollar to the point where by the time it goes to the end user, you're just getting absolutely fucking wrecked.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, there's just no way, right? Like how they can't regulate collectibles. I just don't. It's not. They don't have serial numbers. They don't have. Were they going to go to every card show and make you input it into a like? There's just no way, right? Like, how do they regulate collectibles?
No, and look, they can do it in Japan because it's a tiny fucking island or series of islands. You could say
that's true. That's true.
They're not going to do it here because there's not enough money for the lobby in Congress to make them give a shit. Like if Nancy Pelosi was still doing this shit and she was day trading Pokemon slabs, I guarantee you she'd have legislation, either killed or up there to make herself money.
Yep.
And it's just the world we live in.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. For sure. All right, I think I'm caught up on chat there. You guys can start here. You drop towards the end of stream. You can start dropping questions, and we'll get to all the questions if you guys have any for Anon or for me. So let's talk about ME 6 and 7. You think Delta Rain is still going to be 2 waves, or are they going to go back to just 1 wave system since they have like 3.5 months to print it?
So the short answer is I don't know yet. I think we'll find that out in the next couple weeks. But as we've talked about before, you have Perfect Order, Chaos Rising, and Pitch Black all stacked up 2 months apart. Because remember, they transposed the July specialty set, moved it to September for 30th anniversary, and then Mega 5 would have normally been in that September slot. They pushed it up, so you have 2 months between those 3. The fact that we got all of the second wave of Pitch Black in as quickly as we did,
yeah.
I actually had both waves of ETBs from Southern ship at the same time, and I looked at that. I said, "Oh fuck, they're caught up." And then we got everything else right away. So then you have this gaping 4-month period of time between now and the release. And quite honestly, they'll probably print up to a month after release. And it's like they can really put their foot on the gas and print the shit out of this if they want to.
Yeah.
So the other thing they can do is in that facility, that's where they also do all the reprints. So, that's where they were printing Journey, they were printing Destin, they were printing Black and White. So, we'll see what happens. But from my understanding, like the print run of Delta Rain and also MEO7 is going to be like 40% higher than what it was for Chaos and Chaos and Pitch Black.
Man, if MEO7 is closer to Pitch Black than it is to Delta Rain, I mean, and it's 40% higher, we could see 100.
Welcome Paradox Rift, baby. Paradox
Rift
release, same shit.
Yep.
No, we could. Yes, nobody else is talking about Journey Together reprints, even though I have allocations for them. Here's the challenge with the PokeTubers that have distro. If every single one of these distributors deals with things differently, some are faster, some are slower, some share information, some don't share information at all. So unless you're
Yeah.
dealing with a large group of them, and we get Pokemon from 7 different distributors, you have to triangulate the information to figure out what's going on. Like I have a couple distributors where I can talk directly to the buyers. I have a couple distributors where my junior rep won't even fucking call me back, even though I'm spending millions of dollars a year with them. So they're all different. And my whole game is just trying to gather as much information as possible to get an edge in Pokemon, in Magic, Bandai, not really to much extent because everything's just free money at this point. But if you know what the future looks like, you can trade around it, or you can at least prepare for it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And speaking of Wizards of the Coast and Magic, you said a day or two ago that it looks like a decent part of the new Millennial Print facility is going to be dedicated to them. How much, if any, do you think is going to be actually allocated to printing Pokemon? Is it all just going to be for packaging for Pokemon?
So the beauty is Pokemon's cut up. They don't need any more print capacity. We're going to find
Right.
out the hard way that they have more than enough. So when they signed that facility, the square footage really didn't mean anything, right? They needed to find a facility that fit what they were trying to do in a reasonable location and a reasonable size. So my understanding is they pack booster bundles in-house. Everything else they send to third parties. So you have Johnsburn. I think they're in Illinois. I forget what the rest of them are when it comes to co-packers, but there's a group that packs only ETBs. There's a pack that they do the UPCs, they do the EX boxes. All the booster boxes are still packed by hand, believe it or not. That hasn't changed.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, like, what are we doing? What are we doing, Pokemon? I mean,
but the variability of the packs around the cards, like you can't force them in there or shit gets fucked up.
Yeah.
So bringing that in house and controlling it is a huge priority in my opinion. Because remember, they bought Logistics, so they have a trucking company. They just bought Excel Brand, so they have the last mile distribution for big box stores. They have the printer, and keep in mind they even though they own Millennium Print Group, they are a for-profit entity that is independently run. It's kind of like letting your kid go off to college and like you watch from afar and hope they don't fuck up. And if they do, you correct it. Other than that, you just let them go.
Yep. And it's going to be the same thing with Excel, right? Kind of the same relationship.
Yeah. I mean, for those of you who haven't gone to Target recently, you got to go to Target. So in the back, so if you guys recall, they'd either have like a card section in the toy aisle or right up front of the register. They've just redone a beautiful like toy or a beautiful card exhibit in the back, and it's Pokemon, it's sports cards, it's all kinds of stuff. So that is Pokemon turning Excel into kind of almost making little Pokemon Center kiosks in Target. Now
that's cool.
Can they keep them stocked or not? That all depends on what the demand for the cards are and what's the price of Target relative to the open market.
Yeah, I have not seen that. I haven't been in a Target for months, so I'll have to check that out. That's interesting.
Yeah, I take my 5-year-old every now and then. He's good. He's like, Daddy, I want to go to Target. I want to buy a toy. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, my daughter's 2, so she hasn't started asking that yet. Give it a year. She's 2.5, so yeah, give it a year, and my wife takes her sometimes. But yeah, interesting.
Give it time.
So Timmy McGee, I don't even need a nod to answer this because I went back. I think it was the first time that you said it, and what he said was print capacity is opening up during Q1 of 2026. That's what you said in like 10 videos straight last fall, and everybody took it as the reprints are coming in Q1. Like, that's not what you said. You said the print capacity was opening up during Q1 of 2026. Like, and I know Timmy McGee is just messing around, but there's people that seriously like don't understand how to do simple math with production and distribution.
So there's an annual meeting every February, March timeframe in Texas, and all the distributors are there with Pokemon, and everybody was begging Pokemon, when is there more product coming? When is there more product coming? And this was right around the time when they put out the first post about, hey, we're printing as much prismatic evolutions as we can, bear with us, blah, 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 blah. You basically tell people what they want to hear and hope they shut the fuck up. So what they said in that meeting was, we are booked with purchase orders for other companies through the end of 2025, but we have print capacity freeing up in Q1 of 2026. And then I followed up with that saying, hey, they are printing Journey Together. They're printing Destined Rivals. I don't know if they're printing Mega One. I made that comment, and I said they are printing Mega Evolutions too, which we haven't seen yet. So that has not come to fruition, but it will here by the end of the year.
Yep.
Now, what I don't have now, I have visibility on is how long it takes from them to print cards, and they've been printing these from February up until now, to when they actually make the end user. And we've done a couple videos just talking about the timing of product dropping at big box stores.
Yep.
Yes. The British and the reprints are coming. Where I actually picked up on this in 2025, like when we got one bundles. It's like, okay, they're great. They're at Walmart, whatever. And then all of a sudden, 6-8 weeks later, they show up in distribution. So all of these reprints, they hit MJ, they hit Excel first. And with Destin, it was a huge red flag because normally they'll hit for 1 or 2 weeks. And then 3 weeks later, they'll just do the leftovers, the cancels, the credit card fails, whatever. But here it's like 100K, 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 70K, 50K, 30K. And it's like, holy shit, this is different behavior than what we've seen in the past. And the whole time I'm calling my reps up. I'm like, hey, you guys have a purchase order yet for Destin? You have a purchase order for Destin? It's coming. So when they finally got it, they called. They're like, we finally got a purchase order. Would you please stop fucking calling me?
Stop asking me.
But it's like, it's coming because this is the way it works.
Yep.
So that's the whole thing. And the fun part about being on YouTube is 95% of the people, they hear a soundbite or a headline and then they just take it as gospel and then they run with it.
Yep. Exactly.
So
exactly. Got some questions rolling, guys. I see your questions. Chat is I'm not used to this. 153 people in here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I this is awesome. Really appreciate you guys hanging out. And yeah, I've got some questions to start before we get into that. So I mean, I think I covered everything that I wanted to ask you about. What did you have anything else just about past, future, present, anything else that you wanted to touch on before you get into some questions and just cut it up a little bit?
Well, look, I think this is the opportunity that everybody's been waiting for who's actually serious and is a functioning adult in this space, because buying booster boxes at $200, $225 is a terrible entry point for long-term investing. It just is. Like, if you want to buy it and rip it, whatever. If you just want to put it somewhere, not a big deal. But getting boxes at $100, $125, $150 is much better because you have way less downside. And, your returns over the long term are going to be better. And quite honestly, this is going to be far more predictable. So, you have perfect order booster boxes, if they're at 180, 170, you don't have as much downside, but they're also far less likely to reprint them. Now, this is why I like Magic the Gathering play boxes. It is infinitely predictable because they tell you when they're going to reprint it for the most part, and you can see how the chart goes. The market gets smashed and everything sits at distribution price until it dries up. And then when it dries up, there's so many players over there ripping boxes for product. Everything starts to move up. Now, you don't have nearly as much product being ripped here for players, more of it's rip and ship, etc. But you really get to the same place. And also the total amount of product for Magic is a good amount smaller than what it is for Pokemon.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Is Wizards kind of back on track a little bit? I know maybe 6-12 months ago, you were worried about them just absolutely just killing their brand with the way they were doing some reprints. And are they kind of back now with these Universes Beyond sets and doing the good Universes Within sets? That you think the future of Magic is strong and healthy?
Yeah, I do. Look, a lot of people think the Wizards and the Hasbro guys are idiots. They're not. They look at this from the perspective of financial planning and keeping the game healthy and figuring out when it's most strategic to drop reprints, which a lot of times is directly against what players want. Just like last year, they waited till November for Final Fantasy Play reprints when the boxes were $230, $240. Well, players got pissed. They're like, well, why don't we have it sooner? And they're like, well, we need the revenue in Q4. We'll let it bake for a little bit. You guys will want it even more. And then they pushed everything through and everybody forgot about it. But the one thing they were doing, and I wanted to wrap this, kind of tie this together with the Millennium Print Group. So Millennium is printing cards for WotC now. It's something I believe they've done it intermittently in the past, but on the Q2 earnings call, Chris Cox, the CEO of Hasbro, mentioned that they have a lot more print capacity freeing up in 2027. They have a lot of restrictions right now in 2026. And I take that as being they have a significant amount of capacity from the new print facility at Millennium, opening up to serve the Magic the Gathering game, which also tells you how little Pokemon thinks about Magic the Gathering. They're like,
go for it.
Yeah, exactly. But
knock yourself out, little Timmy.
Yeah, no, exactly. But we know they're printing, the Star Trek commanders, the collector commanders. I mean, I broke the names of those before they even got spoiled. We know they're doing that. We know they're doing the Hobbit holiday, at least the special lands. Be actually kind of cool. I was talking about this today. I don't know if you saw the Final Fantasy lands that have little chocobo prints on. Be funny if they had like a little Hobbit feet on.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. So
that would be yeah.
so they're doing that, and I think they're also starting to do some secret layers as well. So Magic's changed how they do secret layers. They way back years ago they did print to demand. It was a disaster. It took like 8 months to get to market, and then they went to fix print runs. And now with all the botters or whatever, they disappear. So now they've gone to we print X amount up front, and then we'll still do print to demand. And I think that print to demand they're moving off of Cartamundi. So Cartamundi can print the regular sets, the commander, at least the play boxes and stuff. And Millennium can pick up some of that. I think Millennium's probably also going to pick up some of the commander deck reprints next year. So it's nice. Interesting just seeing all the different pieces fall in line. The other thing, Pokemon has a large percentage of paper supply from the top 3 suppliers, all under contract for the next couple of years that nobody else can get. So, Wizards has been chasing like the number 4 and number 5 company to try to get paper to print the cards. So that's always a bottleneck as well. And the best part about this bull market is the overall supply chain constraints between paper and ink and foil and print capacity is throttling these companies' abilities to stab themselves in the face because they couldn't print if they wanted to, which is a good place to be.
Yeah. No, for sure. That all makes sense. I'm just really excited for another error card that has a Magic the Gathering back and a Pokemon front. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, yes.
Those cards go for. Do you ever see those cards? They're real. Those go for.
I've seen them. We should get a Phyrexian Pikachu commander. That would be awesome. In Klingon. There we go.
In Klingon. I didn't even know that Klingon had a. I can't even freaking say. I'm not a Star Trek guy. Had a written language. Like I knew they spoke it, but I didn't know they actually had a written language. Of course they do, right?
When I saw the cards, I'm like, of course they're gonna fucking make these. Yeah,
they're gonna go nuts. They're gonna go.
That is going to be the most banger set because they've taken all the awesome stuff and all the sets and they crammed it all into that one because they knew it was going to be a little light because my dad loves Star Trek. He's in his 70s.
And dude, I mean, who doesn't want a William Shatner autograph? Like, I'll take a William Shatner autograph. Are you kidding me? Dodgeball legend? Like, what are we talking about?
I just want him to sign it Will Shat. I'm good.
Will Shat, there we go. Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Guys, I've been seeing if you ask the question, I start it. So don't think that we're ignoring you, saving them all here. But wanted to let Anon cook and give us all of his knowledge. So man, just a good time here. This would be hilarious. Yeah, they just do it to sabotage them. But yeah, no, they're not in the business of sabotaging. They're in the business of making money. So
I assure you, they make more money printing for other companies than they do printing to Pokemon because I guarantee you they're intercompanying that profit to zero, and those guys get screwed.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. All right, you want to get into some questions, Anon?
Yeah, let's do it. Good. By the way, I got plenty of time. The wife.
Oh, do you? Oh, okay, sweet.
The wife and the kids are sleeping, so
yeah,
doesn't matter.
Yep, same. Wife and daughter are asleep. I got nothing to do tomorrow except for like a 12-hour workday, so we're all good to go. But that's
Yeah.
every day. So, um, guys, so yeah, start dropping your questions in. I'm gonna go. Let's hit a couple of these. We already talked about that. Yes, there's a Diamond and Pearl set coming. Says me.
No, that was purely made up by a little
I
attention
know.
to giant hair.
Yeah. Jimmy Neutron made that up. So yeah, dude, you're gonna be able to get plenty of stuff, man. Like there, if you want to open packs, poster collections and pin collection, and like there's gonna be yeah, the UPCs are gonna be nuts, the ETBs, whatever, but you're gonna be able to get stuff, bro, right? I mean,
Yeah,
not giving that.
so the problem is how do you avoid scalpers? I mean, it's going to be hard to get it on Best Buy, on Target, on Amazon, on Pokemon Center. Your best bet's probably paying attention to Pokemon Center, but the problem is you got to log in and you sit in queue for 3 hours.
Yeah,
So
they're getting better. At least they tell you now exactly what's dropping when you log in. That's cool.
yeah.
So if it's not something that you want, you can just hop out of the queue and it's like, okay, well, this isn't worth my time. So that's nice.
No, I mean the problem is then everybody just packs in or piles in. Look,
Right.
it's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be cheap to rip. Yeah, your best bet is probably try to get it off TCG Player. I mean, I'm hoping to be able to run a 30th anniversary trove sale on TCG Player for some discounted pricing, but I don't know how much I'm getting.
Yeah.
Yet, and obviously I need more than enough to feed Discord first before I go out to.
Yeah, you're darn right. Yeah, you're darn right. If you're not in already, hey, you missed the boat. I mean, what were you sleeping on? Do you know all your allocations for the wave 2 or just wave 1?
For 30th?
Yeah.
I don't have all of my allocations for 30th in general from everybody.
Really? That's crazy. We're only 4 weeks away. Wow.
Welcome to the world of distribution.
Yeah, that's not fun.
I got 2 allocations a month ago. I got 3 others in between, and there's still 2 I'm waiting on, and I'm probably not gonna have them until 10 days ahead of time. That's just the way it works. And most distributors do both waves at the same time. So I think this time it's a 50-50 split. Maybe it's 60-40. I don't know. But some don't. They'll just do one wave at a time. I think what's interesting here, and this is a little bit of inside info. Normally, Pokemon holds a bunch of product back for damages, lost trucks, shit that gets caught on fire. Because there have been, for Perfect Order and Chaos Rising, there have been large delivery trucks that were hijacked and disappeared.
I heard about that.
Yes, some of my product was on one of them, so it was not a good time.
Wow.
So, oh my God, I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, so they generally hold back stock to replace it if anything gets damaged. For 30th anniversary, what they've told distributors is this is what you're getting. This is all you're getting. If it's damaged, if it burns, fuck you. This is all you're getting. You take the hit. So they are not taking any excess stock back. They're trying to push every single pack they can out there to help tamp the market down.
Interesting. I just thought of something else that I wanted to talk to you about, actually. I'm glad that I remembered this. Not that they're gatekeeping, that's the wrong word. There's 100% distributors that are backdooring stuff to rip to whatnot streamers, right? Like it has to be happening.
So the short answer is it depends what your definition of backdooring is. So most of the distributors, they have a retail arm. Southern Hobby is the wholesale arm, and you have Sales First, which is selling to retail stores, vending machine stores, online stores, potentially rip and ships. You have legacy accounts that have been around forever that, they'll sell the rip and ships. There's nothing against that. Pokemon does not have any rules that you need to be brick and mortared by Pokemon. Every other card game in the world does, except for Pokemon. Pokemon doesn't give a fuck. Pokemon wants the Western world's money, and we can fuck off.
Yeah.
We the other thing, and this is things that a lot of folks don't have visibility into. Their accounts like P Football Pete. They've been around for 3 decades. So everything that they get priority on or privilege for, they've earned that shit. So
for sure.
Yes, I know who's sending them product, and it hurts what I'm getting because they're shipping out of the same warehouse that I am. But those motherfuckers deserved it. I mean, if I had a 30-year-old account and some new account came taking my product, I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So you don't think that there's like whatnot streamers that are getting in tight and they pay, double of what they would put their allocation out to a normal
I, I,
store,
I
stuff
don't, I
like
don't,
that?
I don't think that happens as much in the U.S. I
Really?
think folks are
Okay.
doing it buying from Mexican distribution because they can get it
That
early, and then
right.
they're
Most that.
they're crossing the
Okay.
border.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, we answered that one already. Um, Jumping in now, sorry if y'all talked about this. Have you heard the rumor of them doing serialized cards? I have not for Pokemon. No, I mean, could they do it one day? Sure.
No, so there are always people talking about when's Pokemon going to pull the trigger on serialized cards, and the problem with serialized cards is you have to print the card, then you have to ship it somewhere to stamp it with the foil serial number.
Yep.
Then you have to move it back and you have to add it to the collation to pack the packs. And it is an astronomical pain in the dick, which quite honestly is probably why Magic got away from that for the Universes Beyond sets, because they're printing so fucking much. You do an of 77 like you did in Final Fantasy, it becomes a problem.
It's a nightmare. Yeah.
That's most likely why the Chase Mews don't have serial numbers on them and why Pokemon's never gone down that route. A, they don't
Yeah.
have to. And B, it's a giant fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah. Do you have a theory on how we haven't seen any of the last 10 or 12
Seven.
serial number chocobos? Is it just
Seven.
70 through 77? Is that what we haven't seen?
Yeah. So I initially thought it was because they were saving it for other stuff, or because they have pallets of it. They could be holding it there. They could also be holding them as safety stock because Wizards they do have a program that if you get a card that's fucked up, they will replace it. So it could be any or all of the above at this point.
Interesting. And then if they don't get the replacements, like Upper Deck does that with hockey. I know. I'm also a big hockey collector, and
Oh,
yeah,
congratulations!
yeah, yeah.
It's like Highlander. There can only be one. There you go, Trav. There's another 3-decade old reference. You made a comment earlier, like all my one-liners are from 30 years ago.
Yeah, 30 years ago. Now, hey, I love being a hockey collector because it's so. I mean, you want the exact opposite of Pokemon. No hype. No, I mean, there's a little bit with Celebrini and stuff, but a lot more calm, a lot more. You don't have to cut someone's throat to get a hobby box like you do.
Yeah.
Other stuff. So,
well, if you need Upper Deck, let me know because we are a diamond dealer and we can get it.
We'll talk after this. Oh yeah, in the case dying TCG. I mean, do you think serialized cards saved Magic there for a while for on the collector side?
No, I don't. Look,
I don't either.
So serialization has its place, and when you look at the economics of a card game, there's three different pieces. You have collectors, you have investors, and you have players. And players are generally on the lower end of how much they spend. So when you have a new card game starting up, you need to play to the collectors and investors to get the game off the floor and to support the game until you can build a player base. You have games like Shard Bugs, which has really built a little organic base. I haven't played it. I know the creator a little bit from Sorcery, but they've had serialized cards in there for Chase. You need to have value in your cards, and when you have an IP that's unknown and is growing, sometimes throwing serialized cards in there is a little bit of a kicker that people like. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it doesn't work. With MetaZoo, it didn't work because nobody gave a shit about the game. So it's a gimmick to help support the price, but it's only going to work as long as people give a fuck.
Yeah. Yep. No, yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, cooked meals, you bring up a good point. I mean, I guess you can do the math, and if you assume, if 50 of 100 serialized cards have come to sold on eBay and TCG Player and whatever, yeah, you can figure that, okay, half the seal has been opened, give or take. But Kind of like the destruction tracker that you, when is that? Is that coming, ever making a comeback now?
It's actually one of the pages in our Magic EV tracker. So the
Oh,
Pokemon
okay.
destruction tracker's in there. I don't know if it's hidden or not. I stopped looking at it a little bit just because I'm so into the details now. Like,
Yeah.
what's good and what isn't, what's drying up.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the other thing is you don't even need serialized cards to tell how much is sealed because a lot of the stuff is all packed in the same manufacturing facility. So, for example, we got our pallet of first partner series threes, and it was pallet X of 500 or something like that, and there's 600 or 550, I don't know, and there's 600 first partners per pallet. So it came out to like
Yeah.
3,480,000 total units. So that was the entire
Yeah.
print run in North America for those. So you know exactly how many they are because of the
Yeah.
pallet. So sometimes you get lucky and it's easy.
Yeah. No, for sure. That makes sense. We had somebody jump the line here. Steve, appreciate the super chat. Anon, I'll Venmo you 99 cents after this for your cup.
Are you gonna run
Anon,
down? Fucker. I'm kidding.
Anon, how much extra print freed in 2026 as a percentage?
So the short answer is I don't know. That wasn't something that the Pokemon company disclosed. They just said a significant amount of print capacity is going to free up. Now, at the time, they had not announced that they were buying the new print facility, which means that the 440,000 square foot that is up and running and has been up and running since I think January of 2026 was in the picture. So I'm sure at that point in time they had some idea. It was probably reasonably nailed down, and they were just working through paperwork, which a lot of times could take months. But the short answer is I don't know. I will tell you that rough print run for booster boxes of Destined Rivals was about 700,000. Chaos Rising and Pitch Black is approximately 825,000. And again, this isn't total packs. This is just booster boxes.
Yep.
And we're gonna touch, just probably just under a million booster boxes for Delta Ring. So it's moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
Now, what I can't tell you is how much of that is incremental print capacity that didn't exist in 2025 versus how much print capacity was signed to other customers that those customers have rolled off the purchase orders and they've just claimed the print lines. No idea.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense. And we didn't even talk about the Phantasmal Flames reprint that's coming, potential, what, 1 million booster boxes potentially, right?
Yeah. So again, this is where it gets funky because when you look at the supply chain, they have to buy packaging. And the packaging order comes well in advance of printing the packs and then packaging them, etc. So last September, they had ordered just over 1 million booster boxes packaging for Phantasmal Flames. My understanding is it was supposed to be delivered in the March timeframe, but again, until they print them, they pack them, and I can tell you I don't believe they have printed Phantasmal Flames at least between March and now. So they either printed them before or they bought those because they're going to print them the back half of the year, which is kind of what we've been talking about between.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But again, this is all long-term multi-year supply chain. This isn't, oh, it's printing in, February 28th. Why the fuck isn't the pack in Target or for me to buy it on March 3rd? Like, that's not how this world works.
Yeah. And it's just so funny not to go to rollback, which some people have been asking in chat about, like, did you talk about this yet? Did you talk about that yet? Yeah, you have to go watch the replay because we talked about all this stuff. But people that think, Phantasmal Flames isn't even a freaking year old. It's like 8 months old. Like, what are we doing? It's what? It's 2029 block, right? I think Phantasmal is the 2020. Or no, that was what Perfect Order started, but still 2028 block, right? So, like, we got.
Yes, 2028.
2028. We've gotten reprints of stuff in Pokemon history that was out of rotation before. Ultra Prism, like Lost Origin and Silver Tempest were right at the very, very end. Like, there's such a history of this, and it's just so funny how people just didn't think that Pokemon was going to. Did they just think they were going to print nothing? Like we were just going to go months without release it? It's funny. I know we already talked about it, but it's hilarious.
Well,
All right.
there comes a point where you start making so much money, you start to smell your own shit, and it's like you stop thinking and looking at things critically, which is kind of where we started this entire conversation at.
Right.
They are a for-profit company that wants affordable packs. Part of the reason why they got away from booster boxes and went to a lot of EX boxes and stuff was they were trying to get product in as many places as possible. They just failed when it came to thinking they could do it and the botters wouldn't follow them. And that's where
it's funny how short-lived that was, right? It was like all they were about for a few months. These 10 pack, 5 and 5, and then they're like, well, that didn't work. All right, let's just hit booster. I guess I guess we'll just try booster boxes, right? Like,
yeah, let's go back to the old school shit. Well, because you can either print a lot of packs and you could smash the market with packs, or you can try to disperse it and overwhelm the market with number of touch points, which are your smaller EX boxes. And that wasn't going to work because none of these big box stores gives a shit who they sell it to. And God forbid you have some half retarded neckbeard come in and you tell him limit 2 and he shoots the place up. It's fucking insane. Like, these people are fucking insane.
I can't believe no one's actually died in the United States yet. It actually is shocking. But yeah, wild. This is actually kind of an interesting conversation, I think, because of Pokemon Pocket. I obviously I don't know if he or she was memeing here a little bit or whatever, but Pokemon Pocket, I was shocked when the 1-year numbers came out on that, and it was I forget how many $billion came through that stupid app with digital card. Like, I never thought in a million years that there would be any kind of market for digital cards, but they did exclusive artworks. That's what did it, right? If they would have done the same artworks as the sets, there would have been no demand. But it's really cool. A lot of times the artwork in Pokemon Pocket is better than the real cards. What do you think the future is for exclusively digital trading cards for Pokemon, Magic, other TCGs?
In the long term, it's zero because it's not real.
That's what I think too.
But I will tell you, and this was so I came from a Magic background, right? Like, I didn't grow up with Pokemon. I don't give a fuck about Pokemon outside of the business sense, right? So I have no nostalgia for it.
Right.
The hardest thing for me to understand was in the Magic world, people expect value for what they pay for. So the expected value of the cards in the pack has to be somewhere around what you pay for the pack. And that's how Wizards of the Coast designs, the allocation within the pack, the rarities, etc. In Pokemon, it's like a fucking toy. Like, people just rip it and they know they're going to get their face ripped off. And they don't give a shit.
They don't care.
Like, they like the characters. They think it's cool.
Yeah. Guilty.
There is far less expectation of value than what there is with Pokemon. So with Magic, for the longest time, they kept pushing that, the digital age is where everything's going. And really, it comes down to it's way less cost for us, and fuck you, we'll make more money, which is what Sony's doing, getting away from physical games, etc. And it totally backfired on them because at the end of the day, people want to hold their asset in their hand.
Yep.
And with Pokemon, I think it's a little bit more forgiving, whereas I think folks are a little bit more progressive when it comes to pissing money away than what they are with Magic. But I still think at the end of the day, people want their own cards to play with. And, we've all played, video games or MMOs or whatever, and you get to 3, 4, 5 years, and then they shut the game down and everything pays fucking zero.
I was just about to say, I think in 10 years, Pokemon Pocket won't exist. I think it'll be done.
No, exactly. And look, having cool little online apps that aren't like hardcore and you can play whenever you want to recreationally. I mean, those things are really cool, and it helps drive the IP. I mean, I wish Magic had an app on. I mean, maybe they do have an app on the phone. I don't know. I don't even care.
Yeah.
But
I forgot about the playable part. Actually, I take it back. Because that I forgot that you play a shortened version of the game on there, and they could easily put that a part of. They could make a competition out of that, and then it would be.
That's the only version of the game I know.
Yeah. So it's actually I play it a little bit. It's too simple for me. It's just so it's way too easy. You get your energy attached automatically every turn and stuff. And yeah, but
I just knew how it was.
what? So I've heard Rudy talk about this before. What is Secret Lair?
So are you familiar with like Tops Now?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My LeBron. Did you get any of your LeBron James
No,
Philly?
no, I didn't. I
Oh, you
didn't.
didn't, man. I'm flipping them, but yeah. Anyway.
Uh, yeah, exactly. So it's similar to that. So every week, every other week, depending on how much money they need to make in the quarter, they will come out with what they call a secret layer drop. And
Okay.
it's like 5 reprint cards with unique artwork on them. And they sell them for the longest time. They've had a fixed print run and they'll print like 50,000 or whatever. People will sit in a queue, they'll sell them out, they'll ship them within a couple days, and then everybody and their brother bitches because they can't get it because everybody bought it. Because about 70% of them are just dead money, but the
Yeah.
30% that aren't, they're like a 3-4x. So that's why
Okay.
buyers do, etc. They're going back to a print to demand kind of model, which is what they did for like the first year. Like they'd sell as many as they could, and then they print them, and then they ship them when they were printed, which a lot of times was like 6, 7, 8 months after the fact. I mean, I got they did a commander deck, and I got it like 18 months after I totally fucking forgot it. Like it came in the
Oh
mail.
wow.
What the hell is this? Like I didn't even remember. But that's what they're
Interesting.
getting back into now, and I think that's what they're going to use some of the capacity with Millennium for, is to help print to demand and take some of the strain off Card Monday.
Is that what the SpongeBob Magic cards were
Yes,
from? Because they never did a
exactly.
set, right?
No,
Okay. Okay.
no, it was like 5 cards, and then they had a couple
Yeah.
different. There's normally like one secret card in there that can be a couple different things to add some rarity to the stuff.
That's when I thought when I saw those on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, I was like, oh, Magic's gonna be dead if they're trying to have SpongeBob save them, like But no, interesting. I don't think Pokemon will ever do anything like that.
No, no, I
Yeah, yeah.
so the difference is Hasbro, as much as their toy business is a shit show, there is a good amount of innovation there, especially on the Magic side. We're dealing with a bunch of 60, 70-year-old Japanese guys who wearing suits and ties every day and stuffy as shit. There ain't a whole lot of fucking innovation coming out there. They just want money from the West. They think we're all fucking fat, stupid. We have too much money, and it's their job to take it from us. Like
Yeah.
that is it.
Yep. Yeah, no, makes sense, which is why it took 30 years to get a actual chase card. Like, look, people were asking about that in chat too. If we talked about that yet, again, you have to watch the replay. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be the first like actual chase card in Pokemon history. This meal, like, it really is. Like, yeah, SIRs 1 in 1,000 packs, whatever. But for a unique one in 100, like 1 in 100 packs for a special illustration rare isn't really a chase card. Like it is, but it isn't. Like when you're talking about sports and some of this other stuff, like 1 in 10,000 packs, that's a freaking chase card, baby. Like it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no, for sure. And again, I thought when we were talking early on, somebody mentioned there's no way there were thousands of packs ripped. You watch those streams, they're ripping hundreds of fucking packs an hour.
Yeah, they were. There was one.
At least 10 people.
Yeah, the Australian guy that was kind of the first one to get like popular. He was ripping pretty slow, but there was some other ones that were shredding. Yeah. Shredding for sure. Let's see here. Late, if you remember, we already talked about that. Maybe I missed this, but can I not explain why Pokemon Company is giving Walmart a ton of quantity to feed the bots rather than just dumping more in store at Target and LGS for real people to get? Oh, I think what he's referencing is was your theory on the Destin Rivals ETBs from like maybe a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
I can answer this question because they are in fact doing both. So they had to dump a bunch of product on and smash the bots and smash the price. And the best product to do it with is Destin Rivals because it's the hype product that everybody wants. So obviously we saw ETBs go from $280 or whatever down to $130. Yeah, it's probably sub 130 at this point in time. Now they're going to push product to distribution. You're going to give it to the LGSs that are all financially irresponsible. So they're going to race to zero to sell it as quickly as they can. So we're probably going to get, again, this is just my opinion, we're going to get Destin Rivals ETB somewhere with an 8 handle. Now, maybe we see a 7 handle. I doubt it, but we'll probably see an 8 handle. They have about 10 million packs they're still printing over the next couple weeks that aren't going to distribution most likely. My guess is they are probably going to target Walmart for Black Friday. Hopefully something they can keep on the shelves once the price of these are smashed and there's nobody in there swooping them all up. Now, whether that works or not, I don't know, but you are going to have a lot of funds diverted to 30th anniversary here. So the short answer is I think they are doing all of this, but they had to do it sequenced because you have to start cutting legs off one at a time.
Yeah, this fall is going to be so interesting with the waived releases, and then plus the waived releases of the individual products. Right, it's going to be like 8 waves basically when you take all the different product dates. October, November. So and UPC, Black Friday is going to be really interesting. Really interesting.
And oh, by the way, the factory is like 30 million packs behind on 30th anniversary. So those second waves
30 million now? You said 10 or 15 million a couple days ago.
It was 25.
Wow. So, yeah. So what does that mean for?
It just means that the second waves of these products, especially the ones at the tail end, are going to get pushed out.
Okay, so wave one's guys, you're gonna have a Shrouded Fable situation where the ETB is delayed a month.
No, I don't think the first waves. I mean, there's no way they're going to do that. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah. I think the second wave's going to push out.
What about GameStop? They've sold out of a couple things, but they still have most of the product. Now, obviously, they have everything double MSRP. But it's about $9, depending on the item. It's only about $9-10 $9-10 a pack. I'm surprised they haven't sold out of everything yet. Does that surprise you?
I honestly didn't even know that. I thought they
haven't sold out yet.
I thought they sold out of the ETBs and the UPCs right away. Are they limiting it to like one per customer?
No, the UPCs. Somebody correct me in chat if I'm wrong. ETBs are all sold out. Wave 1 and 2. It took forever though. A lot of the auxiliary products are still there. The UPCs, I believe, are still, as of like, what's today? Today's Tuesday. As of the end of last week, they were still up, and I've been hammering 2 or 4 every time I go. If you're a pro member, you can pre-order 4 every day at however many GameStops you want. Personally, I think $380 is, there's no way secondary market price ever gets below that. I think it's a fantastic price, honestly.
It's 30 packs.
It's 30 packs. It's like a booster box.
Plus the promos. So you have the Sylveon and the Umbreon.
Yeah. And 2 Pikachus. I'm up to 8 pre-ordered with GameStop. So and you can cancel them. The guy literally, the manager was like, "Oh yeah, if you want to cancel day, like if you want to come in and you only want 2 of them, we can cancel the other ones and give you your 2." Like, okay.
He's like, "Please do. I'm going to take him out the back door."
Yeah, because he's gonna. Yeah, exactly. But Black Friday will be really, really interesting. Last year it was really crappy products. They still got scooped up immediately, but it wasn't anything crazy. I remember at Walmart, it was, well, no, you know what happened at Walmart last year? They put the pallet out like 3 weeks before Black Friday, and it was all gone.
Oh yeah,
it was really stupid.
But so real quick, the Ditto box, it has by far the lowest print run of any of the SKUs. And I think that's because it was the last one that they added, and then they realized they probably were going to be on packs.
Man, that's the first. That's sold out within a day or 2 at GameStop. Both ways.
Yeah, there is not much of that out there.
That sucks because it's such a cool product.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. All right, we got a 2-parter from Ice the BB. First for ANON, second for who's Sebastian? Man, doxing me here, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Specifically for Destin and Prismatic, how long do you think the buying opportunity is? And then for me, what are you locked in on buying for the rest of the year? Okay, interesting. Okay, I'll let you go first, ANON.
So I did a video yesterday, and this in my opinion is time to be patient, because we're gonna see Destin dump. and then it'll probably recover a little bit. That they're going to hammer it again with more Walmart supply. So, anything with an 8 handle, you're probably good. And if you paid any attention to what happened last year with Twilight Masquerade and Surging Sparks ETBs, they were dead money for like 6-7 months. So it's not like this is not going to be a V-shaped recovery where they spike down and they immediately get bought back up to $250. That's not going to happen here. There's just way too much of it. So I'm just going to sit here and watch the show. And quite honestly, you can afford to wait until it starts to recover a little bit. And that could be March.
Yeah.
You just don't know. Now, I think this is probably going to recover a little bit quicker than what we saw with those 2 ETBs. But again, you're talking $1 million+ ETBs here. An 8 handle is a price point that starts with an 8. So 80 to 89.
Yeah.
Is that like a fucking old saying or something? Like, do people not say that anymore?
I've personally never heard it, but
really?
I got the, I was able to use deductive reasoning. Not, Polly, not saying that you're not smart, Polly. But yeah, somewhere, yeah, no. If it gets to 90, I'm gonna hammer some cases for sure.
Yeah, and you can average into it too. I mean, you don't have to blow your load all at one point. And then I mean, prismatic. Yeah, I think we're gonna see one last print of prismatic. It's probably going to be booster bundles.
Really,
October, November. If I had to guess, and we're probably going to see another stupid SKU like posters or something like that. I doubt we get more ETBs just because I think with all the Destined ETBs, and then I'm almost certain we're going to get black and white ETBs because we have to.
Yeah, and Ascended.
Yeah, well, so Ascended we're not going to get till 30th is done printing.
Right. I would ask you about that.
At least I don't think so. And then we're going to have 7.5 printed, which hopefully is Mega versus Mega, which would be awesome.
Yeah. Any more information on that set yet?
I do not know the name. I'm just guessing that it could be Mega versus Mega because it sounds like a specialty set name. It is confirmed for the trading card game.
Yep.
I just have a hard time seeing, you have Perfect Order, Chaos Rising, Pitch Black, Mega versus Mega. Like that does not fit into
for sure.
Which one of these is not like the others? So
yeah, I saw somebody theory that they might do cards that have like the Mega Evolution form and the regular form. So like Alakazam Mega on the same card, almost like a tag team type. And have it on the same card. That would be cool or whatever. But yeah, it's gonna be insane. Whatever it is,
whatever they do, it's gonna be a banger. They do not make sets like even the sets right now that are weak. They're following the video game.
Yeah. Yep.
So they're making it to follow the video game, not because they want to make shitty sets. It's what they're doing.
Yeah, and they've always done that. They've always done sets that cater specifically to the video games for those type fans. I mean, they did a whole 2 sets of all the Ultra Beasts during was it X and Y or Sun and Moon? It's like those were horrible, but some people like them because they like those characters in the game. So
it's also really, really easy to reuse the IP that you spent money on making just to double dip on your card game. Like it's R&D.
Yeah,
it's not rocket science.
Yeah, for sure. more UPCs than Dittos. Ditto boxes are going to be, you heard it here first, they're going to be more than the UPCs.
Yeah, there's about 3 million UPCs being printed in the US and about two overseas.
Yeah,
I believe all the promos are being printed here and then being shipped to the Netherlands.
Interesting.
Could you imagine printing these individual cards, collating them with the 2 cards and the code card I think is going in there, and then putting a little tiny cellophane wrapper on 2.5 million times for each one,
and then shipping them halfway across the world?
Yes. Something.
That's crazy. Yeah, Poke Trample. That's after the new year. Just the mini tins. Pretty standard stuff. But yeah, anyway, let's get back to. Oh wait, I didn't answer the second half of his question. I'm looking. What's that?
I said, what are you buying? That's the second part of the question, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, number one, whatever you offer in the 30th in your program, for sure. Locking in on that stuff. And then love getting those sealed cases. I'll definitely be looking to pick up primarily Destined over the next few months. See where it lands at. I would like to get. I sold all mine off maybe 4 months ago. And
Smart
no,
man.
it was
You
not
listen.
because of not. I swear to God, you can go back and look at my videos. The first video, like, so my channel is only like 7 months old. You can
Mhm.
go look back at the beginning. I was saying this stuff before you even said to sell it. I was like, this is insane. I sold all my booster boxes of Destined at like 450,
Yeah.
somewhere in there, and then my ETBs at like 200. It was stupid. So I'll be looking to get back all that, probably 3 or 4x, a couple cases of each. Like you, I really like the ETBs just because of the displayability and, like you said, the price point and all that stuff. So yeah, that, and
It's a
then
great design.
you know
It's a great design.
it is. It's amazing. And then whatever comes my way, I'm a very opportune, just like I try to get stuff, and this is also for the little bit of the business side of it as well. As many packs as I can stack for the lowest price point possible. I don't care what set it is.
Dude,
If I like,
in a bull market, you dumpster dive.
yeah, for
It,
sure.
it, it
Yep.
works. It works.
Yep.
One quick comment here from Polly. So 3 million UPC. So it's 1.5 light, 1.5 dark. And to follow up on the Mega Charizard UPCs, there were about 2.65 million of the Mega Charizards. And I know that because of the pallet tags.
So we're getting
We're getting a
more
little bit more.
more but less when you divide it into two, because everybody wants, like, there's plenty of collectors that were fine getting their one Mega Charizard UPC. Every collector is going to want two of these because they want one of each.
And that
So,
and that's why buying them for $389 at GameStop is you cannot go wrong.
yep, exactly. I agree 100%. But Team Rocket Joey pumped the F out. Did he though? Did he?
So when I did a video when this set came out, and I said the value of the cards, these boxes should be $300 to $350 a box. And he was talking shit for fucking ever. He's like, "There's no way. This is stupid. You should be like a not." I actually clowned on him a couple months ago because I pulled that clip up and did a short. He's like, "You should be like a non, and you should pay $350 for these." Three weeks later, the boxes were at $350.
$350.
But Team Rocket Joe, like he doesn't actually know anything. Like all he does is take the other side for argument's sake and to get views. You
Dude,
know, it
he's
is what
so
it
good. It's so funny. He's so good at what he does,
is.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's so good at what he does. He's even broken character a lot recently,
Mhm.
and like literally was like, Guys, do you not like do some of you seriously not understand when I'm playing the character and when I'm being serious? Like, it's so funny, but there's so many new people always churning that, we're always gonna have the revolving door.
Yeah.
And yeah, good times. It's fine. I enjoy everybody's content. I watch everybody. I like everybody.
Oh,
Um,
I think it's funny when he trolls people. The one person I don't understand Kira. Like she adds no value whatsoever, and I know she talks shit on people, but I don't know how she has 46,000 followers, and I think that just goes to show that the downfall of civilization is just idiots watching worthless content.
yeah, I mean, I like Kira as a person personally.
No, but that wasn't a shot at her.
Yeah,
I
no, I know
don't
you're good.
understand the value.
So yeah, no, 100%. I don't consume her content very much because I don't like the drama stuff that much.
Yeah.
Same with Opossum Bud. I like him. I don't really. Same with Rock Sandy. Like, I don't watch that content too much. But it obviously has its place because you're right. I didn't realize she had that many. I knew she had a lot. Well, Opossum Bud has tens of thousands. He probably has
Yeah,
30 or 40,000.
he has a ton, but I mean, he
Yeah.
does a little bit of work on his stuff. I watch him every now and then.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a place when it comes to and actually I think we have a content question. Actually, I think it might be the next question that I had started. This space, this hobby is so huge. There's so much room for everybody. Look at how many just pure business channels there is. Look how many pure collector, pure investor, pure playing the game, pure Pokemon Go. Like, dude, this hobby is so freaking big. It's crazy. You can do whatever you want. It's where did that go actually? somebody asked a question about our advice for actually making content. And now I can't find it for some reason.
Don't have a family and have lots of spare time.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't do that one so good, did we? Oh, here we go. How long is your current standard window? I don't know,
Yeah,
maybe we'll find it. We'll just keep going
and
here.
just to clarify, like I don't dislike any of the content creators. Like there's some stuff I don't like and some stuff I like, but at the end of the day, they're all hustling for the same purpose,
Oh,
right? And you have to respect it.
yep.
And whether you think
Yeah.
they say dumb shit or not, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys say stupid shit, but it doesn't matter because it's a hustle that they're doing just to try to make money, feed their family, and shit like that. Which you have to respect.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. And half the time, a lot of them have admitted it. They'll say wrong information or stupid stuff on purpose to get the go viral and get the comments and the engagement and all that stuff. Right.
Yes,
People play the
yes.
game.
The AI thumbnails that looks like they have two fingers stuck up their
Right.
ass.
Yeah.
Great.
And let's be honest, like you don't have like you can do it however you want. So I found the question here. Do whatever you want to do, Meowth. Right. Like you can, like we just talked about, a dozen different creators, and everybody's different. Everybody talks about different things. My channel, I talk about collecting, I talk about the news, I talk about investing, a little bit of everything. I just love the hobby, and a little bit of business. I actually have a real business that I do as a side hustle, right? Like you can do whatever you want. If you're small now, just post often, and post even the bad stuff, even the videos that are horrible where you're staring at the staring at the ceiling or staring at the wall. Like just post it and just get better. That's all. That's the only advice that I would have.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the more you practice, the easier it's going to be. And just do what you enjoy. And the fucked up thing about this is the more value add, the fewer views you're going to get. The more bullshit, high drama content you do, you're going to get thousands and thousands of subs because that's what the culture in this country is at this point.
Yeah.
And just do what you like, do what you enjoy, because I will tell you, if you post every day or every other day for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, you will get to a point where you burn yourself out if you don't like what you're doing. And
100%.
and
Yep.
all of the time and effort that you've spent to build your base, you're lighting on fire.
Yep.
Because there's some
Yep.
times where it's like, you know what, I can't make a video tonight. Fuck it, I'm not going to do it. And then 3 days later, it's like, yeah, I should probably do this again.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. 100%. Yeah, Ice to BB, appreciate the kind words. Yeah. I mean, I'm a maniac. I post a video every day, but I love it. I do it after the wife and daughter go to bed. So the only thing I sacrifice is sleep a little bit. But honestly, I'd probably be up anyway doing other stuff. So I might as well be productive and build a seriously. Like so, yeah, it's like I'm having so much fun doing it. 6 months ago, like I never would have thought that I could have ANON on. I've had Dan Catch 'em All Collectibles on. I've had DJ's Poke Center. Like you just do it. Just do it. Build the connections, and have fun. Whatever you want to do in the hobby, you can do it. That's all I would say.
And most of the guys, most of the PokeTubers, I mean, they're all really really nice guys. I mean,
For sure.
there's one or two that are a little scummy, and in fact I will tell you a story since we're talking about Team Rocket Joey. Team Rocket Joey struck a deal with somebody in our Discord to buy a bunch of cases of Attack of the Vine. And Team Rocket Joey decided that he was not going to pay that and go dark on the guy. So if you want to talk about scumbag, I was actually going to do a video on that, and then I just totally forgot about it. But now we'll just bring that up.
All right.
There is another person who may or may not love to do digital rips, who has worked out deals with a lot of folks in our Discord, and he hasn't paid them for days, hoping to retrade the price on the downside. Now, there's a reason why that person has burned a lot of fucking bridges, and a lot of people won't do business with them. And it's just, they're just different personalities. So those are a little bit more on the negative side. On the positive side, you have, I mean, Dan's one of the nicest guys that you'll meet. He also lives north of Syracuse, where you have to be nice because you're the only person you get to talk to on a daily basis.
Yeah. Yeah. Good old upstate New York. Yeah, not much up there. Yeah, no, I've done a lot of interactions, a lot of business with Dan. Can attest to a fantastic guy there. But another super chat came in. Steve, jump in the line again. There we go. Anon, if you or wait, IO. What's IYO?
If you,
Uh,
I don't know.
Man, now anyway, will Pokemon keep increasing print runs? All set, even S tier are available on shelves at MSRP. If so, when do you think that will happen? So you think they're going to keep printing?
I don't. I think they have a good handle on the market in general. I think. Oh, in your opinion. Oh, okay. There we go.
Oh yeah, in your opinion. Yep.
God, we're both idiots.
We're
Jesus.
so old. Yeah.
So I think with this step up for print capacity or print volume for Mega 6, Mega 7, they're probably going to tap the brakes there. My guess is once things get under control, they're going to have to back off a little bit for standard sets because I think that's a little bit too much. Um, but just having the print capacity and again, this is a game in battling perception, not in actual supply and demand in reality. Because if you look at the actual supply and demand, there's no way you would pay any of the fucking prices for this stuff today. Like
Right.
you would want to vomit if you had to pay these prices. But this is the perception that everything's fucking short printed and it's going to, $1,000 a box and this and that. So once that perception gets smashed, and it's going to get smashed, the amount of product in the market is going to have to stand on its own. And again, printing 950,000 boxes or whatever it's going to be for Delta Rain and the Mega Lucario set in March, it's too much, but they have to do it. So, hopefully they pull back a little bit after that point when my allocations are 4 times what they are now, because I can take advantage of this. But the specialty sets, they're going to continue that. They're still going to have to print more and more of that because there's going to be more and more demand. There's going to be more and more interest in those sets, and there's just no way to stay away from the botters and scalpers on it because it is going to sell over MSRP.
Do you think they're going to announce? Do you remember for the 25th anniversary celebrations? I think this is the only set that they made a public announcement. Pokemon publicly announced when they stopped printing 25th celebrations. Do you remember that?
So it's weird, right? So you normally have your in rotation stuff,
right?
And we know when sets rotate out because they announce when they rotate out. For an anniversary set, it doesn't technically fall in the same cadence. So I believe they felt the need to do that just because it was a reprint set, and then they had all the class collection and stuff like that. I don't know if they're going to do that here or not. They probably will. But again, we're a long way away from them reprinting 30th anniversary because they obviously haven't finished the first print run.
Right. Yeah. Interesting. Steve, appreciate the super chat. Again, really, really appreciate it.
You didn't tell me you were getting paid to do this. Jesus.
Dude, sorry. I told you I'll Venmo you, bro. Or maybe I'll just drive it to you. I'll pay you in quarters. I'll pay you in Chaos Rising booster boxes that I just hit from the wheel spin tonight. Would you be putting more capital into selected Pokemon products or Magic products? For me, I'm 98% Pokemon, so I'm a bad person to ask this question to.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's Magic. I mean, if you guys watch my channel at all or you're in Discord, you know exactly where my thoughts are with Magic. I actually did a really super valuable video last night where I talked about what's being reprinted, what's drying up, what I would buy, what I would sell going into the end of the year. And the beauty of Magic is we know what's coming and when it's going to come, so we can plan for the shit ahead of time. With Pokemon, they're kind of all over the board. Now, it seems like they're going into a more normalized cadence with, hitting SV9, SV10, SV10.5, and then presumably Mega 1, Mega 2, and then certainly Ascended again. But right now, if I can buy Magic products that are dried up at distribution and I can pay just a little bit over distribution cost, my downside is almost nothing. And my upside is astronomical. Whereas if I'm buying into anything right now for Pokemon, my downside is significant and my upside is limited. Now, with Destiny TVs coming down, that may change. That may change in the next couple months, but I think it's too early to tell. And, again, I think we're going to get into this weird purgatory where booster boxes are going to be 140, 150, 160, which, there's some downside there, but it's probably dead money for a while.
Yep.
Which is quite honestly, it's healthy too. So,
yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely healthy for the hobby. I have a closet full of some sealed commander deck displays that I brought from the program a few gosh, probably like a year, 8 months to a year ago now. Doing really well on those. Don't know anything about them, but
What
they're doing
what are
well.
they? Which ones?
I bought a Dustnor, Bloomburrow, Dragonstorm, Tarkir Dragonstorm, and Ixalan. I think are the four. I think I have 2 or 3 of each of those.
Yeah, I mean, Ixalan's $300, Duskmourn's $350, Tarkir's 270, and Bloomburrow's like 250. And I think the price was like sub 150.
Oh, I got them all for 134,
Yeah,
144,
yeah.
all in that range. Yep. Tarkir Dragonstorm is a cool set, man. I just like dragons. The collector boxes were like like 300 a year ago, something
Oh,
like that.
so that was a weird set. So that was the last set before Final Fantasy. So that was a set.
Oh,
That was the last set before play boxes were allocated. So you could technically only order collector boxes and get them. So
that's
what?
crazy.
So when you look at the reason why the boxes were tamped down for so long because MVP had so fucking many of them, is because they claimed when nobody else wanted them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Should have bought more. I only bought one.
You know, I, I,
I just
I,
didn't know. I just like dragons. Like it's funny. What is okay? Chat's going wild here. Journey together, enhanced booster box, viable play. We'll start that one. Patreon. Oh, we got another pack hype. George, what is going on, man? Appreciate you with the super chat. You're gonna spill the beans on your next get together because you're dumping the hell out of them right now.
I'm
Did
not
he
quite
mean journey together? What does he mean?
I don't know.
Gonna save some beans to. Oh. He's saying, are you gonna save some stuff for your when you go on his channel again? That's what he's saying.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. That there is new news every single day.
Oh
Every
yeah.
single day. I do want to touch on the one point. So the one question up there, just two above. You know, journey together enhanced booster boxes because I want to talk about this. I want to talk about the Mega One booster boxes because since the Journey booster boxes, the reprints coming out are not enhanced. I'm guessing those are
Yep.
also going to be not enhanced. Just it's a pain in the ass to reprint the promo, insert the promo in there. In my opinion, the play is probably the graded, probably the PSA 10 toppers, or just buy as many near mint toppers as you can.
Sealed. Yep.
Yeah, because I mean the two cards are awesome. I think what the Bulbasaur is the I think is
That
the
one's they call it the Michael Jordan Bulbasaur. I mean, come on, that name right there alone is worth it.
yeah, and then you have Enz Reshiram and Journey Together. I mean, those are not shitty promos.
They're
Like
nice.
those are banger cards. So I mean, those are definitely strong plays.
Yep. Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, as far as regular Journey Together booster boxes, they might get crushed under 200. I could see that happening.
Yeah, and it does look like the amount coming to market is probably 2/3 what we got for Destined. So
Okay.
it's a
All right.
little bit more moderate, but it's still like 100,000.
Right.
Um,
It's not a Patreon for one, but that's okay.
yeah. So it's a little bit of a different setup. So everything's run based on off of Discord, and we use a website called WHOP. It's WHOP. I don't know why they named it that. They probably should have thought about that before they named it. We do not have any offended Italians in our Discord.
Yeah, that's why that is a wild name that you mentioned that. That's wild.
Yes. It's also not wet ass.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But
WHOP. Yeah.
yes. But it's basically a subscription service that goes through the website, and the website links the profile to Discord. So it unlocks everything in Discord automatically. So we run every TCG, I think, for the most part, that's mainstream. So Lorcana is growing. Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Masters, or I guess it's Dragon Ball Fusion World and Dragon Ball Masters, or the two. One Piece we do. But again, getting a significant amount of Bandai boxes is difficult. I mean, if I get a couple hundred, there's one box for a third of the folks. Whereas Magic, I get like 2,000 play boxes per set, and I'll probably get 600 collector boxes for Reality Fracture. So there's more than enough Magic. There's gonna be more than enough Pokemon. I think Pokemon right now, we're somewhere around 3,000 ATBs and like 1,000 booster boxes for the last couple sets, and for the
Nice.
next ones going forward. But again, this is why you have to diversify across multiple distributors, because I have distributors where I don't get a whole hell of a lot. I have distributors where I get a ton, and sometimes just based on the set and the time of year, those they flip flop.
Yeah.
So there is nothing predictable, and this is where I kind of laugh at folks that are scrambling, just trying to get more allocation that have been in the market for 10 years. You know, Danny Phantom gets a lot of his product from GTS and from Southern. As far as I know, he hasn't spent any time trying to diversify his distributors outside of those two, because you didn't have to. Dan gets a lot of his stuff from Mad Al.
Yep.
I don't know where else he does, but Mad Al is probably the smallest mainstream distributor out there.
And his allocations have just been this like he also doesn't really push. Like he doesn't ever play the game behind the sleeves and all that stuff. He just takes what is given and that's
that only works with Southern Hobby.
Southern Hobby.
That doesn't work with Mad Al. And Mad Al changed their allocation last year, where you can't buy Yu-Gi-Oh anymore and get credit for it, or you can't buy candy because they're a huge candy distributor. So you can't buy anything but Pokemon to get Pokemon spend. So if you have no Pokemon spend, you're fucked.
You're just you're just out. Yeah.
So each one of the distributors is a little bit different, but I mean, a lot of these folks, they're so used to getting as much as they want, and when the world changed, they were kind of screwed.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know how to say your name, Buku. Definitely check it out. I've been in it for over a year. Definitely worth it. George, thank you again so much for the super chat, bro. Appreciate you. I was just on George's channel last week. Had a lot of fun.
I'll always save some zingers for you, dude. Don't worry.
10K into Destin Rivals ETBs, into Fallout 40K, or to Gundam?
Yes, my answer is yes. All of the above.
Yes,
all of the above. You will not be able to go wrong with any of these.
Transformers knockoff. Stupid.
Look, I think Fallout Commander's coming out. You got to buy the reprint on those, because we know they're all going back to $350, $400. Gundam, the anniversary set GDO5, the boxes are $225, $250. The first set, the boxes are pushing $500. Set 2, 3, and 4 are between $120 and $150. We know where they go. We've seen the movie with One Piece. And then 40K, the set that shall not be named. Same thing as Fallout. When the shit goes down, just make sure you're liquid.
Yeah,
because it's coming.
Yep, I'm putting all 10K of mine into DRETVs.
Well, if you're 98% Pokemon, that's fine.
Yeah, right.
I am not related to Mason, but I have a great picture of Mason hanging out with Big Gamma last year.
Nice. Every person that I've ever heard, every interaction with Mason, that he's the most genuine, nicest person on the planet.
He is very self-deprecating to a fault, but he's a super nice guy.
Yeah, for sure.
He is awesome.
If you sold some stocks and you have 5 to 10K to invest right away, what are the first things you're picking up? Vintage or sealed, slabs or singles? 5 to 10K. Interesting.
I am not buying Pokemon right now.
Yeah.
Until Destin Rivals gets down to that price point. Yeah. And when you buy it, it is going to be dead money for at least 8 or 9 months. Just mark that down. If I had 5 to 10K right now, I'd be buying. I would absolutely be buying Magic.
But think about what we're talking about, Anon. Like, it's so crazy. Like 8 to 9 months is nothing. That's no time at all.
I know, but again, we live in a world where everybody has the attention span of a spaniel.
It's wild. It's wild. I am actually so this is embarrassing, but I've been talking about it on my channel. I've been getting roasted in my comments for a few days now, but it's been fun. I have way too much Disney stock that I'd care to admit. That I bought.
No, so you're long Lorcana. Congratulations.
Yeah, right. I should have just bought Lorcana. I really should have just bought Lorcana. I'm gonna sell it just to put it into Pokemon. It's like, you know what? There's no way that prismatic SPCs or Destiny TBs when they drop or something doesn't double way before this freaking Disney stock doubles. So yeah, it's just kind of funny the market confidence that I personally have being embedded deep into this hobby. Like, I feel so much more comfortable having my money in freaking elite trainer boxes over actual an actual $1 billion company stock. It's what, isn't it wild? It's wild times.
Well, because you know Pokemon's not going to die, and there's a
Right.
better chance than not that Disney kills Lorcana. I need 2 seconds. My laptop's going to die. I got to grab my
Oh,
charger.
you're good, man. You're good. Do your thing. But yeah, no. So yeah, last I vintage. I mean, if you're looking for pure investment, like just to hold and to trade later or whatever. I mean, you know me, I'm a sealed guy. I'm going sealed cases all day, or just whatever you can get, lowest price point that you can get on anything sealed cases. I love slabs. No way. Run as far away from slabs as you can. They dropped significantly last time. A lot of them got cut in half in 22, 23 when the bottom fell out. But that's just me. And vintage is already so inflated. Like, I mean, vintage is vintage. If you want to play in that game, like 5 to 10K in vintage, get you one card, maybe get you half a card. So, yeah, I prefer modern sealed at great entry points, personally. Let's see here. Disney has done the impossible and fumbled Star Wars. Definitely ditched that. Yeah, it is pretty crazy that you mess up Star Wars. It's okay. John Favreau. Oh my gosh, Favreau saved it with the Mandalorian, so we're good. But if it's not tripling in 6 weeks, 6 weeks, is it even earning?
It's not.
Uh,
You're
yeah,
actually falling behind.
yeah, you're way behind. Do you think people like Rudy have a real and measurable effect on the market when they talk about products? No.
I think so.
No.
I do.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I absolutely do. I mean, look, he gets 50, 60,000 views on every
Yeah,
video.
that's
I,
true.
I,
That's a lot of
I
people.
I think people underestimate the size of these markets and how small they really are in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
I mean, we we do DGen Fridays, and there's like a handful of us that buy promos,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
and you
I've been
know
in on that.
for 50 promos where it's like $1,200 a total spend, you can move shit by a couple dollars and it doesn't come back down.
That's
Yeah,
true. Sometimes we move a few hundred too
yeah,
on good weeks. We'll get over 100 with some of that. That's a
yeah,
good point. That's a
yeah.
good
And,
point.
and quite honestly, it's just fun. But you have to understand, people look at TCG player as a proxy for like it is basically your index fund or
Yeah.
your Dow Jones, your Nasdaq. People look at that and say, okay, well, if it's this price on TCG player, it must be the market.
Yeah. The only thing is Rudy is always that's the one thing though. He's always so late to saying, like, by the time he tells you the crazy plays he made, it's too late to make them a lot of the times.
Well, because he's not an information sharer, he's an
Right.
entertainment channel.
Yep.
You know,
For sure. Yeah. For
my
sure.
my my whole base is just to try to share, information with folks that don't have
Get,
access to it
yep.
because I
Get ahead of
mean,
it.
it has no impact on my life, right? Because I get it, I action on most of it, and it's just I think it helps people out because you don't get smashed with a reprint that you're not expecting, and Rudy's like, there's no more Lord of the Rings Commander coming. Here's a sale, and then 3 seconds later, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we just got a new reprint.
Ooh, we got to reprint. Yeah. That's wild.
He's done that a couple. He did that with Bloomberg last year.
Yeah.
Dustin, he's done it on more than one occasion. So, I'm not saying that he's dishonest. He either is just talking his book, or he just doesn't give a fuck at this point, and he truly doesn't know.
He's
Which
got so much going on. I think it actually might be the latter.
it could be. I mean, he
Yeah.
he doesn't strike me as a scummy person at all. I think he's
Same.
recently down to earth.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
who knows?
I agree. How long beyond the end of the current standard window does Eldraine, Bloomber, and others in the current rotating out get printed for? These are Magic sets.
Oh, you're gonna ask the hardest fucking question. I think that they're gonna print all these sets outside after they rotate out. I think they're gonna take the opportunity in 2027 to do that once they have more print capacity. I think we're gonna see Eldraine for sure. I mean, so Wilds of Eldraine was in the print schedule for most of this year. I don't know where it's at or where it's coming. Bloomborough, we're absolutely going to get more play boxes. We're probably going to get another wave of commander displays, but it's probably not going to be till 2027. And that set rotates out in February of 2027. When it comes to Wizards, there are no fucking rules. Mind you, they're about to dump 100,000 Warhammer 40K displays of commander displays on the market. They're selling for $1,400 fucking dollars right now.
That's crazy.
District's going to have to sell them to me for $136. I don't even know how they're going to do it.
They're gonna like have a grass. They're gonna be like, no, you're gonna be holding it, like fighting the driver. He doesn't want to give it up. And that set's like what, 2 years old?
October of 2022.
Wait, that set's 4 years old almost?
Yes.
So they don't have a standard rotation like Pokemon does.
There are no rules. So
there's no rules.
With Universes Beyond, it seems like there's a 5-year license for some of these early ones. Okay. So you sign the license, you have to develop the set and then release the set. So Warhammer being a 2022 set, most likely they would have signed the 5-year license in 2021, meaning at the end of 2026 the license expires. Now I don't know how it works with extending licenses or not, but they're going to dump the shit out of a $1,400 product, and they're literally shifting the decimal place for what they're selling into the market. They're no fucking rules.
That's crazy, man. I really hope that Sony terminates their license with Spider-Man so that my collector boxes can do something.
Yeah, you saw mine. I have 410 of them here.
I thought
I'm finally back to like cost basis, which is good.
Yeah, right. We're almost there.
I'm almost.
I thought with the new movie, the movie's gonna make like $3 billion. It's absolutely, it's gonna be the biggest movie ever, which isn't. I mean, I loved it. I thought it was great. I didn't think it was that good, but it was good. Yeah. But yeah, Wild Spider-Man is one of the strongest IPs in the world. And yeah, those collector boxes, nobody wants them. It's crazy.
Oh, they'll want them eventually. So as we get into the set next year, you're going to have the Soul Stone that's going to dry up and it's going to continue to go up. And then you'll have the Mind Stone from this year superhero set. Yep. And you're going to have more synergies. And people are, as time passes, people look at stuff a little bit more fondly. And
I hope they see it through. You think they'll actually do 6 Marvel sets to do all 6 Infinity Stones?
I don't know if it's 5 or 6 that they have planned, but yeah, I mean,
okay, that's nice. Then there'll be some whales that you'll have your Benjamin B's that won multiple copies of all of them, and that'll keep. Yeah, I mean, there's what, $20,000-$30,000 cards. They'll do well. They'll do well.
Yes, with his Super Saiyan Goku Facebook avatar.
Dude, he's.
I mean,
you what?
I've done some deals with him.
Really? That's awesome. He's a big hockey guy. He's a big.
Oh, is he really? Oh, I didn't know that.
He's a huge hockey dude. He's buying up all these Celebrini 1-of-1s patches and stuff. Yeah, he's in San Jose. So
I knew he was in Cali. I just didn't know where.
Yeah, he's a huge Sharks fan. So yeah, he's been buying up.
He bought a couple Sorcery Original art pieces.
Oh, nice.
I may or may not have owned or had in my possession.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Super nice guy too.
Yeah, he seems like it. I've seen he's done some interviews on some podcasts that I listen to, and he takes it a step further than you. He even does the voice disguise thing when he does interviews. It's crazy.
I did that in like one of my first ones, and I'm like, fuck this, I don't care that much.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's great. Smitty, Chaos Rising. It's not even close. Turn the brain off. Most popular Pokemon as the chase, and the illustration rare is way deeper. Chaos Rising, no brainer.
I mean, people are gonna take Greninja over
yep,
I fucking forgot what the chase card is, so that tells
Dark
you.
Dark Ryans and Zygarde.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh man, there are no rules.
that is true.
Wait. So is Ascended going to be on the back burner once 30 coming in? If so, recommend moving Ascended sealed now. It'll get reprinted sometime, man.
Yeah, let me give you a quick breakdown. So there's two different print facilities. One's printing specialty sets, the new specialty sets. So it's printing primarily 30th anniversary. The other facility is printing the standard sets and managing the reprints. As of now, to my knowledge, there has been not even the beginnings of any reprinting of Ascended Rivals. Ascended Rivals.
Ascended Rivals.
I keep saying fucking Ascended Rivals.
You do keep saying it like
I
every
said it
video.
like 5 times now.
Yep.
That would be a great specialty set for a like mega 10.5.
Yeah, it would be.
January. So it's going to get reprinted probably once 30th is done, but we're going to have the main facility that most likely is going to go and just be printing the shit out of Mega 7.5. And once Prismatic is done, that line is going to switch over to Ascended Heroes, which is probably not going to be enough print capacity to catch up. So they're going to have to play some games with. Now, at that time, presumably they have the reprint of Mega 1, Mega 2 done, so they should be caught up with those where they can afford to move some more print capacity away from your standard sets and into Ascended Heroes. Ascended Rivals.
Ascended Rivals, right? Destined Heroes.
Yes.
Destined Heroes, even better.
Yes.
Destined Heroes.
God,
based on that question, what's the likelihood Pokemon chooses to reprint a set that is out of rotation next April, i.e. evolutions? He means prismatic evolutions.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that at this point because they have something to get caught up on.
Yep.
Quite honestly, I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, I would know months in advance that they were printing it going up against that rotation where we would pretty much all know.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, this would be diabolical if after they're all out, they do a secret layer with all of them. Print to demand secret layer of all the Infinity Stones after they do it.
Yes. It's the 35th anniversary secret layer and the chase is an Infinity Gauntlet. And it's Thanos giving you the fucking finger.
Yeah, giving you the finger. That would be amazing. Oh my gosh. Oh, why do Magic players hate Spider-Man and Marvel, but they love Star Trek? Neither.
Here's the real question: Why have Spider-Man and Marvel outsold Strixhaven by 2.5 times?
Ooh.
Because, and not just, obviously the price is higher. So players of TCG spend far less than collectors and investors do.
Yeah.
Universes beyond sets, they sell, they work. It doesn't matter how many Timmy players are screaming and saying, I'm not going to buy Spider-Man, but I'm going to buy 3 times more Strixhaven or Lorwyn. Like, you're still giving them their fucking money, right? So it's weird. If you look at Marvel, and I had this conversation with one of my reps today. If you look at Marvel superheroes, and that was the set that came out as The Hobbit, it would be the best set in the history of Magic the Gathering. Hands down, with a Lord of the Rings or Hobbit skin, it's the best set of all time. So it's a fucked up situation where you have all the big YouTubers and influencers, whatever the fuck you want to call them, and the second they say, "Well, this set sucks," like Tolarian Community College, that guy's kind of a douchebag. But if he's like, "Well, this set's terrible," it's fucking DOA. There's a reason why they took the spoilers away from all the influencers, because they're like, well, these guys aren't going to help our game. Fuck them.
They're tanking it. Before it even gets a chance. Yeah.
Yeah. But people buy Marvel just because it's Marvel.
Yep. That's why I did. I love Spider-Man, so I bought Spider-Man.
Exactly. So this is why it's a nice mix going into 2027, where you have 3 universes beyond and 3 universes within sets. Now we're going to have most likely the November set is going to be World of Warcraft. So that's going to be a nerd fest, which is good. We'll probably have a Marvel set. Now they said it's not New York, but there is an Avengers movie coming out in November of next year, and there's an X-Men movie coming out in 2028.
Yep.
Those are the obvious choices, but we could very easily get like a Marvel villain set next year. You know?
Yeah, well, there's Avengers coming out this December and next December, back-to-back years. We're getting huge Avengers movies. Yep.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, Doomsday is this December, and then Secret Wars is next. They should do a Secret Wars. That would be Secret Wars is like the greatest comic book series event in Marvel history. So that's going to be insane.
I never got into comic books, and none of that shit means anything to me.
Yeah, but like it to those of us that are, it's a huge deal. Like, so I would not be surprised if next year they would do something with Secret Wars, and like a villain set would be perfect because every villain is in Secret Wars. Doctor Doom, Thanos, like Ultron, everybody. That would be sick if they did that. That would be really, really cool.
It would be. I mean, they just did superheroes, so I mean,
right?
Villains would be cool stuff. Sydney
sense.
Sweeney is going to be in the live action Gundam. She's going to be our Nami. So let's just get her out there, tits out, and just sell the set.
There you go, on card autographs. Where was the? I wanted to take one and I can't find it now. Cooper Flag. Yeah, I did see the Cooper Flag got hit. It'll go for $5 million, probably 4 or 5 million. I think. Did you see the Cooper Flag got hit in Rhode Island?
I not only do I care less about sports, I hate the fucking NBA.
Yeah,
it's all rigged.
I just follow it just to not follow it, but just hear about it for cards.
And this is living outside of a city that now has LeBron.
LeBron James, yeah. He said they were talking about you got to use Ascended Rivals as a coupon code for something. Yeah. I don't think so, but this would be cool if they did do a full RGB out of RGB. That would be cool, but I don't think they're doing that, right?
No, they're all individual cards.
Yeah.
I mean, I was originally told it was red, green, and purple because the blue hue under certain light looks purplish.
It does look purple. Yep.
So.
Oh man, what's the best play? 30. I would say 30th UPCs probably.
No.
What? Topper? Yu-Gi-Oh is not popular enough to take off like that. I mean,
the Yu-Gi-Oh serialized set at $35 a box. Mind you, that's $35 a box for 3 packs. There are Japanese serialized Yu-Gi-Oh cards that sell for $50,000.
Okay.
That would probably be my closet play because that could you could be able to flip that in a couple months and make a killing. Journey Together box toppers is a long-term play. 30th UPC is obviously a very long-term play.
Yeah.
So yes, I am actually going to say Yu-Gi-Oh. So
that's crazy.
I'm not related to Mason because Mason fucking hates Yu-Gi-Oh.
He does hate Yu-Gi-Oh. I was listening to that podcast the other day. He's like Yu-Gi-Oh F tier. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's funny. That's for Magic 35th next year. So Magic's 4 years ahead of Pokemon.
November of 1992, I think, is when Alpha came out. So this is going to be their 35th anniversary. And I think they're actually going to do something meaningful, unlike the 30th, which was a fucking disaster.
Yeah. They reprinted everything that they said they weren't going to, right?
Yeah. So initially they were supposed to give one of these away to every WPN store. Then they didn't. Then they were going to sell them. Then they scrapped the whole thing. Then some stores got them. It was a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
The messaging was terrible. The rollout, the execution was terrible. I mean, the item was kind of cool, but it wasn't worth $1,000 fucking dollars.
Right.
So I think they'll do it much better than this year. And look, they have Pokemon to see how Pokemon handles it, just a copy. You don't have to recreate the wheel.
Right. Yep, for sure. Yeah, we definitely an alternate reality recommending Yu-Gi-Oh over Pokemon.
Well,
what do they say that
there are nuances? It is the first serialized set ever.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
I think this has Dark Wizard and Blue Eyes White Dragon is a set that comes out in November.
Dark Magician.
Yeah.
Dark Magician.
See, I grew up with no Yu-Gi-Oh either, so I don't fucking.
Yeah, that was my. I as a kid, there was a time period where I liked Yu-Gi-Oh more than Pokemon because the show was so good. It was way more adult, like way more serious, way more dark.
Mm.
But yeah, but then as we oddly enough, then as I got older and more mature, I went back to Pokemon. What does that tell you? I don't know, but we all did. So yeah, but yeah, Rudy was oblivious last year when he started making daily visits of Spider-Man Fallout. So you need to be hyped up. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, he kept saying that I'm gonna buy him for $500, and then he got to the point where he spent so much fucking money. He's like, yeah, I probably got to pump this because this is gonna be painful.
Yeah, he bought way too early. Yeah, for
Oh, I mean,
sure.
look, he got smoked on Monarch first for Flesh and Blood too, because that company's a bunch of scumbags, and they kind of
Yeah.
schemed everybody, but
Yep.
whatever.
Oh man. Well,
That
now
that
we've
is
been going.
that was a
Oh, go ahead.
magic that's a magic pun right there, because Reality Fracture is the next set that comes out.
Next set, right? Yeah,
Fucking
I
nerd.
figured. Yeah, it was just it was the last comment on here, so I figured I'd pop it up. Dude, we've been going for over 2 hours. Is there anything else that you want to tell the people? There's still 150 people here. Insane. Any last words? I'm ready to wrap it up if you are. I'm pretty beat.
I'm tired. It's
Yep.
12:20.
Yep. Agreed. Yep. Agreed. I really appreciate you coming on, bro. This was, yeah, a long time. We've been talking about it for a while. Like I said, yeah, it's funny. We're just a couple towns over from each other, and which is pretty cool. And yeah, any last words for that you want to tell everybody? Take us out on this.
I am just so glad I didn't have to talk about the Anon business, and we could actually just talk shop on this stuff. It's so much
Yep.
easier and more comfortable to talk about. And look,
Yep.
it's, the market is still hot, even though Pokemon's going to take a little bit of a step back here. This is an opportunity to get in at a better price point for a game that you know exactly what is going to happen. I
Yep.
still like Magic better.
Yeah.
So anyway, and we know when to buy it and when to sell it, and we can
Yep.
back and forth. So
Yeah, for sure. Always going to be fun. So, all right, man. Hey, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys all, 180 of you at one point for hanging out with us. And yeah, we'll catch you all on the next one. See you tomorrow. Have a great night.
all right, later, guys.